because
Let's
she
get it
had
started, man, with that good energy off the break. Everybody laughing, like, you know
Just
what I'm
get
saying? Nice
good.
little
Yes, most
entry here,
definitely.
man. Welcome in, everybody. Off the hip, we are back. My brother Snake
Yes, sir.
Eyes, Razor. We are here joined by special guests tonight. Streets,
Yes, sir.
Baron. What's up with
No,
you,
that is
man?
We.
hell Baron today.
Baron.
yeah, I'm
Bonjour.
filling
Yeah,
in for Baron.
right.
Two totally different people. Two totally
Exactly.
different people.
You have never seen L. Baron von Stroud or Baron von Stroud in the same room.
You never
Mm,
have. Never have. Don't know if you ever will.
I mean, that back
Oh,
looks a little different too. So again, it's two different rooms also.
mm. Good
Mm.
eye there, Razor. Razor got the eye right there. You see in the
I
Uh-huh.
got the eyes
background.
of a hawk.
So he let you
Good
borrow the
eye, good
room,
eye.
huh? He let you borrow the room.
yep.
Y'all was talking about the woman's money in the bank, right? I think Jay Cargill goes all the way.
I think she does
SummerSlam.
too. It's time. It's her time. It's been her time. They're trying to
Mhm.
slow it down, but it's her
Remember we
time.
got
You can't stop
remember
greatness.
remember who
Can
we
I go
got
to the
lurking
women's bracket real
around.
quick?
Remember we got Naomi with the
You
briefcase
do.
too.
You do. You do.
Naomi has been
So I
killing
haven't
it.
gone back. That's a segment I haven't rewatched from last night, and
Killing
it's
it.
because it's kind of hard to tell from without commentary and stuff. Was Nia telling Naomi not to attack her?
Yeah.
Like, what were they like? Kind of like working together deal or something?
No,
Nah.
it was like you get out of my business. Because let's
Is that
not
what she
forget,
told her?
Nia is the reigning, defending, undisputed queen of the ring, and she's looking for a back-to-back win.
Hmm. I can see that because from what we saw, it was just her being like, like hold on, like, but you couldn't really tell if she was
Well, I
more
mean
so
that.
like, let me get her, like it's my time to get my get back, or like, bitch, you better not get in the mix of this and steal this shit while I, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we ain't gonna let you get it that easy. So I didn't know what it was
I mean,
from
technically, she
watching,
can't do it
there.
now. She lost, so I mean, that's not really an option now as far as back to back.
Yeah,
That is true.
I agree with that.
I don't. I part of my head was like, oh, are they starting to maybe hit if they're working together, or Naomi doesn't go because Anaya is it like a female bloodline kind of thing?
That's what I'm waiting for out of them.
Hmm.
I mean, you got
Let's see.
two of them right there, so
That would be fire. That would be
I
fire.
think
You know what I'm saying? To bring the female domination part into it with them being a part of the bloodline would be ignorant.
Are we gonna talk about what we seen before the actual show last night? Who made an appearance finally?
Oh,
Oh,
October.
nigga, nigga,
I'm so happy they finally unleashed Hikaleo. Like he's here.
he's a
bro.
tall ass dude.
That motherfucker was like Kane. You hear me? He was
Yeah,
big as Kane, bro. I
I
seen
He
him
even
think
did
step.
the top
He did the
rope,
little
push
rope
it
move. Yeah,
down,
the top rope. He stepped on like this
climb
nigga
over.
the,
big as a motherfucker,
the
bro.
big old big man move
Yeah, and he had
over
the
the
whole
top.
big move. He had the big move, man. Like he said, now the big move said, "Bow." Dropping niggas, bro. But that was dope.
With
I ain't gonna lie, bro. And
big hair, throw a mask on that
yeah,
dude.
That's a
yeah,
huge
no,
mo. That's a
yeah,
huge
bro.
moment, though.
I was
I ain't
like,
gonna lie
bro,
though. I feel like that
he's
shit kind of like set the tone because like we get to that, but the solo segment, you know what I mean, with JC sitting there in that empty slot, you know what I mean, where solos, you know what I
Hmm.
mean, it used to be. I don't know where's Tamatonga at, by the way. Can we put an APB out for Tamatonga? Why is Tamatonga?
both the girls are hurt right now.
Like he's too great of a talent for us not to see him as much. I don't understand. I know the push for Jacob has been, you know what I mean, major, but Tama needs to be involved. You know what I mean? But I think possibly Hikaleo could be joining this situation with Solo and Jacob soon. You know what I mean? But that was fire to
yeah.
see him. You know what I mean? They gave him that debut. That was dope. I've
I'm
been
not gonna
waiting
lie,
for it.
it was super cool seeing him in person, and like a lot of people in the crowd almost was ready to see him, or felt like they was ready, like they already knew who he was. And I think they announced it. He was part of the bloodline as well. So
So
Oh,
I know
Oh wow, that's
Space gonna
dope.
love this reaction, but how did the Def Rebel song sound?
I was dope.
I mean, his it had like a
But it wasn't like a crazy pop though, like for his music. You know what I'm saying? It was more so just for the fact that
yeah.
they had said he was.
I think you had a few seconds of music before like his name showed up, and it was very like it was like a red fiery thing, and then just his name in like a specific kind of font. Like it looked.
I'm gonna say
it
this.
looked okay.
The
could-
nigga like Baby Kane.
Yeah.
He look like Baby Kane, bruh. Baby Glenn Jacobs, bruh. The stepping over the top ropes, the red and black, the nigga was Baby Kane, bruh. If Damian Priest is Baby Undertaker, we getting Baby Kane, bruh. I'm dead serious on that. That's what I'm gonna say, bruh. Hikaleo. I promise you, bro, dude was a monster. He was a monster, but he definitely gave me. I was sitting there like, who's gonna take this nigga down in the bloodline? He's huge, bro. Like, he's not no small dude. He's big as fuck.
They don't
He's
unleash
Baby Kane. Yeah, he's choke slamming niggas, bro. Off top, his moveset got to be choke slam.
I ain't gonna lie though, Razor, man. We getting rid of that rebel shit. My man Metro Boomin is trying to get this deal.
Yeah, Metro.
Like Triple H stop playing.
If they stop playing around,
yeah, let's just let Metro Boomin really,
bro, you know how he would cook for all.
Briggs getting Limp Biscuit. Come on now.
Like I'm hearing Metro finna cook up for Seth Rollins and they gang. Like just let Metro get right. Like let's stop these.
That'll be it.
Soundtrack like interests. I'm tired of that shit, bro. These soundtrack, like, come on, man.
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah, he was huge. Look how big he is.
Yeah, he's a giant.
He's a giant, bro.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. He done put on some size.
Dude,
he used to be a lot skinnier than that.
There's my G. There's my dog. All gas.
Is he here to take out Jacob Fox? That's what I'm wondering. Like,
I think he gonna try to, but I don't think that he got enough gas. Bro, there was so many people talking about Jacob Fatu before he even came out. Before I even had the shirt on, people was like, "Who's your favorite? Who do you hear to see? Who do you want to see?" I'm like, Jacob Fatu. They were saying the same thing. Oh, yeah. Jacob Fatu. I love him, bro. He's so cold. Yeah. A lot of people were saying that. I'm like, damn, I was surprised, bro. Like, super surprised, bro. There was a lot of people,
we got
bro.
To our seats or even hit the merch stand. There was this one. I guess the first time I seen this shirt, it may be a new shirt of his. She was wearing the one that the Streets ended up picking up last night. Like, this like 40-some-year-old mom was there with her kids wearing a Jacob Fatu shirt. Like,
the whole family. I was like,
dope as hell to see.
Yeah, they was cold. They was going in, bro. I'm gonna lie. I don't know if they're gonna bring dude in to try to stop Jacob Fatu, but I mean, they do. He gonna have a time on his hands. Dudes are.
Well,
I know if they do that,
you can't teach that.
But hold on, time out. Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing? One thing. I hope they push that because I feel like he's gonna have to go get somebody, and who else better to get than Zilla Fatu? Nigga, you heard me say it here. You heard me say it here on Off the Hip. Who else better to get but Zilla motherfucking Fatu?
Come on, I'll tell you who else is better.
Who? His brother?
Go to
you know what? Put up on the screen for that one.
The YTC, your tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but there will still be 2 versus 3.
It
it still be 2v3, so you gotta even them odds somehow. Bringing in Zilla and Roman will be nasty.
Is this one of them one gorilla versus 100 dudes type of conversations?
Hey, well, Jacob Fatu is coming out. He's the gorilla. You feel me? He's the gorilla.
I have two things. The gorilla. I have 2 things I want to say.
Yeah,
one. First of all, Razor, you're not off the hook for saying that Hikaleo was not ready. He wasn't built. He's not made for this main stage. Remember this, sir. Episode 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know which one it is. We gotta get it
up. We were talking about a year ago.
You, Razor, AC Mateo, you said that Hikaleo was not ready. That man is ready. You just heard Streets. He had the energy. He had the imp. Like he just had that aura.
For sure, he did.
He had that aura. So come on now. Are you gonna give Hikaleo credit? Are you gonna give him credit if he comes in and he works? Are you gonna
let's get him on the bright lights and then we will reassess that. But again, what I said was from a year ago because when he was signed a year ago, I was like, if you bring him up now, it's sudden. Let's let him do some lab work.
Right.
Obviously, main event was the trial period, and that, I believe who was that? Sami Zayn? Who was he competing against?
One of the pretty deadly, the black-haired pretty deadly guy.
I can't tell which one from which.
Yeah, I don't know.
One of them niggas had a big budget. They had a big ass disco ball. Yeah, they had a big
Wait,
ass disco ball.
wait,
In
they
the
had
house.
like
Like,
a
what the hell?
Hikaleo debut
Hey.
against Pretty Deadly. Like,
Yeah.
Ruined some WWE
Yeah.
secrets here. So
Nick,
they dropped
bro.
that
That's why I
disco
said
ball, right?
he
I'm like,
destroyed
okay,
this
are we
man,
getting
bro.
Fandango? Is Fandango?
Yeah, that's what he said. He
okay?
thought it was Fandango. Then the
Is
music hit,
Rose playing?
and the nigga came
Man,
out in the
this guy can
leotard,
go.
bro. In the
They
leopard
don't
leotard,
even
bro.
put lights on the disco
So
ball.
was
The
it was y'all
disco
chanting?
effect is
Yes,
all light.
boy.
You said what happened?
Was y'all
The
chanting? Yes,
disco
boy.
effect.
Hell nah, nigga. Get this nigga in the ring. Come on. I don't understand, hey, bro. I feel like that's a Vince McMahon gimmick, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I feel like that's some shit Vince would have done, bro.
I mean,
I don't
they've
know.
been around since then. That may be something, but they've gotten over. So I mean, I guess there's no harm in keeping them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
yo,
not
how
knocking
long was
it,
that
bro.
match?
Was
Wait,
that the
how
right
long was that
move?
match?
Quick.
Okay.
How long would you say, bro? It had to be longer than 5 minutes.
5 minute match.
Yeah, if that.
5-6 minutes.
Yeah,
So
bro.
that's
Put it like
aggressive
this.
for Hikuleo.
Well, that
Put it
wasn't
like-
even a main event match. That wasn't even filmed for main
Yeah.
event.
Put it like this. Then they had the females going after that. Put it like this. Remember how Kane used to
Okay.
wrestle with the lights on? His matches were so quick, they wouldn't even cut his lights off. They just leave him red the whole time he come out, choke slam a nigga, beat his ass, and then that's how it was, bro. Like, I should just left the
Damn.
lights
It
on
used
and
to
the
be
music playing, bro. Like, dude didn't even do nothing to him barely, bro. Like, he tried
He's
to like
supposed to be
deflect some shit.
monsters. It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, bro.
He
He's a
did
bitch.
that like dude would run up, throw some punches, and he would like block him and stuff.
Because he's a
but then all of a sudden
superstar,
he'd just
Razor. He's a
hit him with one hit,
superstar.
and I would go,
I'm
Hey,
telling
y'all.
you, bro.
I'm
I'm not
not
lying to you,
I'm
bro.
not this.
When they
saying-
debut him, it's gonna be a problem, bro. Watch for not
Well,
just for the bloodline, but for everybody, bro. Watch what I'm telling you.
I think it might be
Nah,
next
the
week, to
second-
be honest.
Will they allow him
second
to
thing,
keep
though-
that mean streak he was growing to learn the last tenure with New Japan? That's all I ask. Will they let him keep that mean streak
Right.
like they're doing with Jacob, like they did with Tama, or will they do somewhat of the goofy shit like Tongaloa did before he got that unfortunate injury?
It's looking like if you ain't
Another
broke,
thing I
don't
want to
fix
ask
it.
y'all fellas about Jacob, because we got him on the screen. How do y'all feel about Jacob just actually being a baby face? Y'all think he's comfortable with this role?
I think he is. I think
He-
he's loving it.
He's just being him, and that's what the touch is about him. This is one he's gonna be him. Obviously, everyone's gonna ride with him, and you just can't fake being real.
Hey, you know what? I agree with that. I think that they're allowing him to be himself with like wearing the gold teeth, talking how he talks with the yada I mean. I'm ready to dog walk their ass. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
From coast to
your man
coast,
had a
coast
red
to
flag
coast.
in it. Your man had a red flag in his back pocket on one of those shows.
Bro,
I'm like,
yeah.
what? You got the
Bro,
Yeah,
flag
you
hanging?
hear
I'm
me?
like, nah.
High, real high. So I say that to say like I like it. I think that the fans is really getting over with it, and I think that he likes it because it's allowing him to be like like Stone Cold was like a badass, yeah, but he was like, I'm a badass on my own terms. Like I'm not good. I'm not bad because he still does bad. If you think about it, he still be out there with Solo. He was still doing bad things, and I think that he's not just going to be a good guy. I think he's still going to beat up on people and hurt people. He's just going to be a vigilante, like I'm all about me right
This is
now.
what benefits him the most right here is the fact that you have Wade Barrett, Joe Tester, even McAfee and Cole on Raw when they do the joint shows. They're explaining, hey, yes, he got this pass, but that just means that when the bell rings, he gonna get active.
Yeah, he will want everybody. So I think that it's a dope thing. I think that he's liking the fact that he's a face and a heel because he's kind of like a tweener, and we've all seen how tweeners usually come out. They usually become big stars. So you know what I mean? Because most of them. So it's like it's cool to see.
they just got one thing I critique about it. They just got to hit the gas on it because when you position him to feel like he's still conflicted, should I leave Solo? Should I not? He already attacked him. It shouldn't be this last image of Solo saying what he said on the screen, and then Jacob like thinking about it, like you know what I mean? It should be like, bro, I ain't hearing none of that. That's where I think.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
for sure, for
best
sure, for
believe
sure.
HD Solo will lay Jacob down and beat him for the first loss.
I want to give Solo
Best
his
believe
credit.
it.
Really?
Bro, he
Best
been doing
believe
amazing
it.
work.
Best believe it. Solo's give. Listen, I'm saying that right now. Solo will beat Jacob Fatu. He will.
We saw.
I mean, not clean. It won't be clean.
I ain't gonna say it's fair and square. Whether
Yeah, I
it's
was gonna say
cheat,
fair and
whether it's
square. I don't
help,
think so.
whether it's help or whatever, but he will win. He will beat him.
Okay.
It never been
We,
clean
we
with the
thought we
bloodline
thought
though. We
January
know that's how they roll.
6th.
Yeah, facts.
That's how the bloodline roll. And
Right.
Solo, he
Yeah.
said those words. I bring you into this world.
I'll
I'll
take
take
you
I
you
will
out.
take
out.
you out.
Yada that mean? Like, you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna see. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. But I do think that he's gonna end up getting some help. I think he's gonna have to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody that's on the roster right now could really help him with the problems that they're about to, throw at him.
I'll say they already are.
Who?
Well, you and I spoke about this
Well, I mean, yeah, Roman, but go
with
ahead.
Darren. No. I'm not even counting him.
Okay, okay,
I'm not counting him. I'm not counting Uso. I'm not even counting the final boss.
okay.
Now, AC, you and I in the past have seen little clips here and there. I don't know if it was from Level Up or NXT, whatever the case may be. However, we allegedly have Lance Anoa'i managing out the mud, OTM. Now, Solo claims to be the street champion. Imagine if he recruits two big ass dudes from the streets. It kind of writes itself.
Are they part of the family in any way?
Lance, I don't know why he is. The other dude is one dude's from Oakland, the other dude's from Miami, but they're big as hell.
Okay,
By the
but
way, there's going to be nobody to come help Jacob. He done terrorized so many niggas with Solo.
You
He
know,
ain't
he
got no allies.
yeah. That's what I'm
He ain't
saying.
got nobody come
Maybe
help
that's
him.
the story.
That's why I said there's
Maybe-
nobody in the WWE that's gonna come to help him, bro. It's
I'm
just not
still-
gonna happen
maybe
like
that's
that. Like,
the story, though.
who Solo's going to come
He's
get
one-
as backup.
I
Solo
think
already
it
got
builds it up
backup.
that way. Like,
Solo got your boy.
He gonna get an army. That's what I'm saying.
and Jacob
I
has
think
run
that-
roughshod over so many people that like he may go to some people for help. Like maybe he goes to Jimmy. and
Yeah,
Jimmy's
or maybe they're setting up for war games or something like that, having like
I mean,
you
I'm
know
not necessarily thinking
Jacob's
that's what it
team
is,
versus
but, like,
Solo's team. But
but
I think
this
it'd
is
be
like-
cold if they. What if he went and got his brother? Like, hold on, I'm gonna go get my brother, nigga Journey. Let me go get Journey Fatu. Let me go. Hold on, I can go get somebody I trust. My brother. Let's. You know what I'm saying? Let me go get.
Get a juicy phenom from Power Slap.
You feel me?
So,
I just feel like this kind of like it's setting up for like I don't know, maybe Tom and them it was intentional to kind of give him a
break.
step back to kind of involve him right now to kind of like give him a push. But I see something crazy coming out
He's on the
of
show with injury.
huh?
Tama and Tongalo on the show with injury right now.
Oh, they're actually hurt.
Yeah, they're both actually hurt.
all right,
I didn't know that.
Night
Damn,
of
I didn't know
Champions
that.
is 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah.
So, what if
Mhm.
Jacob he's say he gets attacked or whatever, and Solo's got reinforcements. What if he's pissed all these people off? He goes to Jimmy. Jimmy's like, nah. He goes to Jay, and Jay's like, nah. You cost me titles. I mean, I ain't helping you. He has nobody else to get to Night of Champions. Looks like he's about to be outnumbered, and you surprise everybody, and Roman does come help him just to take it to Solo.
I could think either him or one other person.
The
Who?
Rock.
Hell no, the Rock ain't coming to save that man. He ain't that big yet.
Hey,
Solo
now,
ain't that big yet. Like hell no. The Rock
well,
will catch him and out him in one punch.
I'm thinking purely because they've previously done battle. They got that mutual respect. They both come from the streets, and we're gonna hear a little wepa if that were to happen.
Priest.
Mm-hmm.
That could work on paper.
Maybe.
Because in backstage segments, they've teased that they got that little mutual respect with one another. AC's hating it already. I can see it on his face.
Think about it. How do we get?
He couldn't hide it either. I'm screaming.
We can't have a
I'm
Saudi
screaming.
show without Roman. Like, how are we not going to have Roman Reigns at the first Saudi show of the year? You know they're going to drop whatever.
I'm saying you're not going to see him. I'm just stating Roman's what he's got
Master
going
Chris,
on.
what's up,
Nothing
baby?
to do with the family business. Roman's got his eyes on Seth.
I mean, maybe Seth goes to cash in on Punk. Maybe Punk. Let's say hypothetically, Punk wins at Night of Champions, takes it off Cena. Seth goes to cash in. He's working on Punk. He's getting ready to cash in. You hear that doom, and Roman
So
stops that.
let me ask you this: Would you rather have Roman there or save him for MetLife at SummerSlam?
SummerSlam.
I don't think I
Thank you.
would. I would personally SummerSlam, but
SummerSlam.
he's not going to turn down that check. Roman ain't going to turn down that check that the Saudi prince is going to give him to show
But
up.
also again, how long is he filming Street Fighter? Akuma is the main character.
Yeah, but like I said with The Rock, man, you can't tell me y'all can't pause for a day. Y'all not like what's the difference between today, yesterday, and tomorrow? Besides
Rock
time.
is choosing to not to, but then again with Rock, Rock's not personally late for all the films anyways.
That's on
Yeah.
that nigga, bro. That's on here. That's on Rocky, bro.
No,
Like,
there's usually
he can be
specific things
costing
like
them money, whereas Roman's doing shit more professional. Like, hey, I got obligations, get in, get out.
I feel you on that. But it's like also, you know, you got one of the biggest stars in the world. So I mean, you gotta know what you're dealing with. And nigga can be late if you want to because he's the biggest star in the world. But you gotta know that. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to know that going into it. Like that nigga might be late. Now, who are we gonna tell him no? He's the star of the show. Who are we gonna tell this nigga?
Big bald headed ass no to his face.
Same thing with like, you know, like with the WWE. It's like, yeah, you can say whatever you want, but that nigga technically got final say.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you can say what you want, but so you kind of gotta like, niggas late, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta just kind of take that.
But when you cost some folks like 7 to 10 hours worth of stuff when they could have got the shit done.
But you're still costing them. You giving them extra money. You know how much money he's making? Like, yeah, I'm costing you maybe 7 to 10 hours, but you're gonna make an extra maybe 700,000.
But they're really not though, unless that's all the box office for most movie stuff. Everything's already paid there in advance. Like you got the money to do this part.
Oh yeah, I mean, true, it depends. I mean, yeah, but again, would you tell the biggest star, one of the biggest stars in the world, hey, bro, I seen your motivational video about being on time. Take your advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna tell some shit like, hey, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. You gotta think about it too. The Rock ain't gonna do something that ain't box office.
Yeah, too. Yeah, exactly.
The only reason he was near that whole Cody Rhodes shit is because Cody Rhodes was near Roman Reigns. It was really supposed to be The Rock, Roman, and I truly believe after The Rock would have did that job for Roman, that's it.
Yep.
We got extra because of the whole Cody situation.
True.
Just say it. The Cody crybabies.
Man.
Cody sucks eggs. I'm screaming. John Clark, what's good, baby?
Nah, there was really a movement going on that was like, I wasn't mad at it necessarily because
we were.
I was conflicted. I'm be honest because on one side of the coin, I've been following Cody since he left. Right, I've been on the journey with him. So to see him come back, I'm like, damn, I would want him to win, but right now it's not the time, bro. Like that's what I'm like, I don't think right now is the time.
Yeah.
And then they started feeding that to us, the story, the family. My father, he almost had the championship. He took it out his hands, bro. I can win it now.
So
who's not
game.
going, bro? Who's not going to fucking go for that and feel that, bro?
Speaking of that,
facts.
I think that might be the way they're pushing it. So my wife and her friend went to a local spot last night, and this guy doing a local band. It was a local band playing. He's like, "Have you all ever heard? Any of y'all know who Cody Rhodes is?" And they know because I'm a fan of his. And they were like, "Oh, they're hyped." He's like, "So, I got approached because of a song that we have that I guess he was like it was a weird experience. Like I got all of a sudden I'm talking to Cody Rhodes' people and all these WWE lawyers. They booked, they licensed this guy's song. It's called Shoes, and it's basically talking about like trying to fill shoes. It was a very like emotional thing. So like my wife even said she's like as soon as he started playing it and said well, anyway here's the song and they played it. It was a very like she was like oh my god they're 100% going to do something about Cody's dad with this song. So like it's like just talks about filling footsteps and like what you're trying to achieve and all that. So like there's definitely something coming that Cody is going to be part of where it very much will be I have this legacy or these boots to fill and stuff like that. So that could be like his whole thing going into King of the Ring or maybe getting the title back at SummerSlam or something is like I have to fulfill, which he already has. So it doesn't make sense in that regard. But like there's definitely some kind of story like that coming when it comes to Cody.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, real quick, sidebar. we went, me and Baron von Stroud, just happened to be, doing our thing yesterday, right? There was a person who yelled, fuck you, Cody Rhodes. So, wait a minute, when the show went off, now get this, look, the nigga HD's dying. HD's crying, look. But look, after the cameras was rolling, Cody Rhodes was like, hey, bro, you couldn't just say, man, like, Cody sucks. Did you have to drop the F-bomb on it? Tell me why it was my homeboy who said that. And he's watching the show right now, nigga.
The guy that yelled at the Cody's watching.
Yes.
Right now?
So, nigga, it was John Clark. Nigga, remember the nigga I told you about? Like, he having a show next week. We gotta go.
Guy.
He said, I may or may not have been the guy who yelled, fuck Cody Rhodes last night.
I'm screaming.
What?
He said, I like
Dude,
Cody as the chaser. I was screaming.
Of all the people I've ever seen close the show, Cody is one of the best like go home people I've ever seen.
Yeah, he did his thing, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, he did his thing. Oh, yo,
Giving
Master
away
Kush,
pieces
thank you
of the
too.
table. He was just such a couple shows ago. They all kind of blurred together after a while. I forget where it was, but him, Sammy, and Jay were out like closing everything down, sending everybody home happy. And he's like, I don't have anything to give away. I can't give you the shirt. I have to auction it for charity. That we have that coming up. He's like, so here. He took off one of his shoes, pulled off one of his Nikes, autographed the shoe, and gave it away. So like he's just constantly like doing those like crazy cool things.
Yeah,
like,
he gave away a piece of the table. Yeah. It was dope. The one
personally, I would have wanted the piece that said Slim Jim, but whatever. It's me.
Yeah, he was like to the loudest person in here, he'll give him a piece of the table. And then we were so loud that he broke it in half and was like, nah, I gotta give it to somebody else too. And he gave it to two little kids, which that's cool.
Yeah,
the
little girl in the front row and then somebody else. I thought he was gonna give one piece to the fuck you Cody guy. Like I was convinced
that'd have been that'd have been crazy, bro. Because Cody really was talking directly to him, like, you know what I'm saying? And he said something else to him. He's like, hey, can we? He said, so now, what did he say, John? He said, so now you know know what to say. Now say what you was gonna say. And then he said something back to him, to Cody Rhodes, but I didn't remember I couldn't hear what he said. But that's funny though. Yeah, that was funny.
It was all around great. There was not.
Yeah.
It's crazy is the only like kind of lull in the whole episode was that Wyatt tag team, and that wasn't bad by any means. That just tells you how good the rest of it was. Whereas that's kind of the lowest point of the show, and that was still good. Like it's so good. Like Triple H, he cooked the best meal ever last night. Like it was amazing.
So real quick on the notion of Cody, what fascinates me is. No. So what legit fascinates me is the amount of love that guys like him and even LA Knight get despite the booking.
Yeah.
Just those two guys that off the top of my head, easily, no matter where they're at, where they're in the world, easily one of the top 5 reactions of the night.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro.
And it blows my mind.
The pop. Go ahead.
Because it just again, because once we hear that core from LNS team or whatever, we hear Cody's woe, and it's like just the place is erupting. It's like, despite all the booking, good, bad, and indifferent, and the whole lot of ugly, y'all really rock with these guys, and that I commend you guys. It's like again, and this is nationwide, even worldwide. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. So John said, you can say those words, and he said he was trying to say Cody sucks, but. He says he gives it up to Triple H. He was cooking. He said he had to give it to Cody too. He did his thing last night. I'm not gonna lie, like the pop for Cody coming out, man, it was crazy, bro. I think the only thing that may have been louder, only thing that may have been louder, bro, is when I saw Jay come out and everybody was yeeting. Like it was close to that, bro. It was like crazy when whoa, people was in it, bro. It was fire, bro. Like the energy, you could feel it, bro, in the air, bro. It was like. It was
an electric entrance, and
bro.
It's definitely one of those.
The pyrotechnics, bro. He had so many. It's like,
so, how many times did we? Whoa, lost it. How many times did we whoa last night? Like
at least like 4.
It was just as energetic every time.
Yeah. Yep. Facts. Yeah, he said last night's show was firing on all cylinders. It really was, man. It was a bomb ass show, man. Like. I couldn't have asked for more, bro. It was
SmackDown
fire.
sucked almost as bad as Raw. Amethyst ain't fucking with it. I'm screaming. Amethyst, I
Yeah,
love it.
we
Roman
get
is the
this.
best opener,
We all
middle, and
we all
closer.
miss the king.
there we go.
No,
Definitely, I'm
I
gonna be
was
honest though. I
like,
want to go on record for saying this though, because I think people kind of forget this shit though. Like when wrestling was dead ass in that weird era, Roman helped coast us through. The Anuai family, the 5-2 family helped coast us through that. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like people like, nah, we don't want this on TV no more. Which I get. It felt a little like, okay, they running shit too much, but that's part of the play right now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
facts.
They broke
I
the
mean,
whole chain of
part of it too. Keep
command.
in mind that was a what almost 5 year storyline.
It was
Yeah.
5 years.
Like, where else were we gonna like take the bloodline? And then we had got the Civil War, and we went from bad bloodlines and they split up, and they come back as good guys. So I think they did all they can do with that for real. Like, I don't think there's much left in terms of bloodline.
At least for right now.
It was the
Yeah,
Rock and Roman stuff for me. It was like, why even have? Let's say you want to have Cody win the Royal Rumble. All right, you failed last year against Roman. You should have went the other way. Get Seb's belt. They didn't book it
Yeah.
like that. They could have had somebody else win the Royal Rumble. So it's like whoever had that idea, they kind of fucking with things that we should have seen already. Like we should have already been done. Like you said, there's nothing else with the bloodline. The Rock and Roman was the culmination.
and now
Everything.
I honestly don't know if we'll ever get. I don't
I don't
know
think,
if we
yeah.
will ever get it.
Yeah,
And I'm not
that might
quite
be up
sure if
there with
built the
like
same.
Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, the match that we all wanted, but we never got, or much like Austin and Hogan, we never got to 1-on-1.
Yeah, I never really got that.
And then even if we do get it, bro, I'm gonna be honest, it don't feel as impactful as them weeks when The Rock came out as the final boss, and like, okay, let's say Cody would have lost that WrestleMania 40 in Philly, and then we get to the Rock and Roman stuff. Finally, we good, but they want
or
the
or,
belt
or,
off
or,
him.
or even when there was that little awkward moment where Cody handed the match to Roman, what if Cody would have brought up and says, "I'll put this main event on the line."
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of ways we could have went that route, but we opted to go with the Cody Crybaby route. Granted, the match was great, and the reaction post match was what it was. Again, we all enjoyed it. Shout out Samantha Urban, but still, it's like we all knew going down the road. Again, once Cody wins, there's not a whole lot for him down the road because of the landscape that was built beforehand. It's not a bad thing. It's just what happened to pan out. Same thing happened with Jay, unfortunately. Same thing will probably happen with Gunther now that he's in his second reign. It's just one of those things where again, there's not really much down the road aside from
Yeah, for sure.
one or two
Right.
matchups.
Okay. Speaking of that, speaking just real quick, I heard that your boy Gunther's supposed to be going against somebody else with a G in their name. You got to that
I,
same thing?
I heard that
Yeah,
he's
George, George,
coming up.
George the Animal Steel.
Maybe.
Gilbert,
Gilbert, close.
I thought y'all was talking about
Now that
Goldust.
would be hilarious. Gilbert was the funniest nigga on the planet. I ain't gonna lie,
Dude,
that was goofy for
they
that.
do have a chance here to troll everyone if they do bring out Gilbert, and
oh,
like
the,
Gunther just absolutely wipes him
Gilbert.
out, and he's like, "What is this?" And
Bro,
then
can
you
that
hear the
man even
boom,
survive a chop in
boom.
2025? Like,
He's
look,
done. He's cooked.
give
He's
him one power
cooked.
bomb. That's all we need. Just one power bomb. Not even a chop, just a power bomb. Doesn't even chop on bugs anymore.
Or just choke him out. He chokes him out one time. Just chokes him out, and
Yeah.
he's like, "What is this?"
One arm.
Then his music hits, the smoke hits.
And that'd be
Goldberg comes out, lays
hilarious.
him out with the spear, set that up.
That'd be hilarious, bro. Have Gilbert come out as a decoy and then Gunther just choke him out real easily. Like, what is this? And then the music really come out and Goldberg comes out. That's gonna be fire. But yeah, I heard they're supposed to be building up some stuff.
It'll be
I
there
heard
Monday.
a few stories surrounding that.
They say
John
he will be on
I need to be
TV
on the show
Monday.
sometime. We'll definitely get you on here, John. We'll get you on here. We'll be having special guests sometime, so we'll definitely get you on here and pick your brain. You got a whole wrestling promotion. Again, we'll get you on here, man. Thanks for supporting, man.
I
But
can't help
but
but
as far
think
as
that like Randy and like this is gonna be the future matchup right here. Randy, Cody at the end.
let's go into that possible four-way real quick. Yes, we're getting Sammy versus Randy, but it was announced this earlier this weekend that the mystery fourth man is now Jey Uso. So yes, we're getting Sammy versus Randy, but we're also going to piss away Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso over this.
See, I wish I had never like we hadn't talked like noticing now how they flipped the sides of the bracket. I think is so stupid. Like,
Yeah, that's
Well,
dumb.
next
it's
week,
stupid.
I was telling Streets yesterday, I was ready to try to find tickets to SmackDown next week, thinking it was going to be Rhodes and Orton plus Cena versus Truth. Like, sign me up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I didn't.
facts.
Then I found out it was in Michigan, and that was like a long time away. And I was like, nah, we're not doing that.
Check.
But like that, I don't know. Like, you could have had Zayn versus Jay, like. That could have been great. The two of them could have done. You could have had some kind of good story there, and then Rhodes versus Orton would have absolutely smashed. Which I guess we could still get there, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. I wish it was flipped.
I don't like the fact that they announced Jey as the fourth man right now. You could have said that for half through Raw this Monday.
Yeah. They could have waited on that one.
I felt like they went too sportsy on me real quick. Like I enjoyed last year's idea of Raw versus Smack. This gives me like the New York Jets could go against the Giants, the Mets could go against the Yankees in the World Series. Like
type shit.
This is giving me very much like a cheesy feel. Like I don't know. Maybe it's not that serious, but I kind of feel like just looking at this makeup, Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn, Cody versus anybody else that come out there, it's gonna be SmackDown versus SmackDown in the finals.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
unless they
honestly,
decide to throw some goofy curveball in there, where
and that's
it's
not
like
necessarily a bad thing.
Well,
That's what I'm more worried about.
What if it ends up being Jey versus Sammy in the finals?
Yeah, I'm good on
We haven't
that,
crossed
bro.
the average yet.
Yeah, I don't think.
Hold on. I'm not shitting on your idea, Razor, but if they entertain that, let's be clear once again. The winner of this tournament is gonna get a title shot at
Yes.
SummerSlam. Let's be clear. I just had to remind
The
the
reason
folks.
why. Play all the scenarios out.
The idea is because where is this TLE going to take place at?
Saudi.
That's the only reason why I'm thinking of that, because Sami Zayn has Arab in him. That's the only reason why I'm thinking about that possibility. Or even maybe Sammy versus Cody. Want to give a Raw versus SmackDown?
So
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. If Sami Zayn gets a fucking world championship match versus Gunther at SummerSlam, bro, I think I might just lose it, bro. I'm not even going.
So hang on. Let's play it all out though. Okay, so if Rhodes wins,
I'm losing. I'm done.
We know where we're going. It's gonna be Cena versus Rhodes at SummerSlam, like the rematch from Mania.
Correct.
If Jay wins, he's probably gonna attempt to go Gunther again. I don't think anybody wants that, to be honest. I love Jay, but like that rivalry's kind of played out. If Orton,
so do we never give him the belt again? Do we just leave Jay just yeeting for the rest of his career?
Well,
or what do we do with him?
Damn street.
I don't know. I think he needs to stop popping off.
I'm just saying, because like, look, he ain't got the belt. He's yeeting. We love it, but like, when is it gonna be like when people get tired of just raising their arms yeeting? What they gonna be like? What are you gonna do with him? Because now, like, what do you do?
When he's around, everybody eats.
So does he need that particular championship? Is my question.
I don't think he needs it to be the fan favorite on Raw.
He doesn't need it. They gave it to him, but I mean, I feel like you got to give him more credit if you want him to be like the face of how the company, how Cody's been to a point. If you're having him be on the
clearly don't have that with him.
Okay, so
WrestleMania.
I mean, he's on the cover of 2K. He's on the cover of 2K. That's kind of speaking a lot, man. He's doing his thing.
That hasn't been confirmed yet.
That wasn't that 2K Games that tweeted that out.
Yeah, they did.
They did?
Yeah. He's on there yeet. Bro, he's the yeet master on there, bro. But I'm just saying, and if you leading a company like that, bro, you got to give this man a little bit more. I mean, you got probably the most in t-shirt sales and everything else.
Okay, so why not have him get the winner of, or face the winner of Cena and Punk then?
I don't think he's there yet. I think he's there, But I don't like the way.
he's not on
Hear me.
Cena and Punk's level.
They haven't portrayed him. They haven't portrayed him to be that way yet. He's there, but
he's
still
not throwing, but he's going for the second place trophy.
We're
Like,
in
you
a
feel
very
me?
awesome place where we have top name stars like Jay, Gunther, stuff like, but then there's still mega stars on that roster, like Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
Austin, The Rock. We have people of those levels on, like you, Cody, Randy Orton, John Cena, CM Punk,
Seth Rollins,
those are
Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dog. Like, there are certain people. I'm just saying.
There's
like,
so many mega stars on that roster right now.
That level.
I'm gonna ask you something right now. Out of 3 wins, who would win? Braun Breaker or Jey Uso? Out of three matches, who would win the most?
I think I'm dead ass.
Well, out of 5, I'll give you 5. Out of 5 matches, out of a solid 5, who's winning the most?
About the example, I'm dead. I'm entertained about that example. I'm dead. I think it's actually 1-1-1 right now. Ironically.
Okay. But I'm saying if there had to be a 5 thing, like a 5-game thing, right? Who's winning?
If you do Jay and Seth again, I might give a slight edge to Seth, honestly. But I'm
talking about Jay versus Braun Breaker, because Braun Breaker is technically under Seth. So we didn't even talk about Seth. Seth's the big dog. So in that scenario, I'm saying like Braun Breaker.
But Braun
there.
Hell yeah, Braun going come on, bro.
He lost the belt to Jay and took it back, and then Jay couldn't get it back from
he never transferred again. He moved on.
So it's like he kind of took back what was his in that situation. So I
just feel like he got that energy, bro. Braun got that. My bad, H. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, you good. Yeah, he do got
Braun
that energy.
He got the energy, bro. Jay got he's cool. He got the goals. He's maybe for the females a little bit. He's kind of like, he's dancing. He's me, ooze. He's yeeting. I love it, bro. But it's like Braun Breaker. That nigga, he's barking. That nigga's that in business, bro. Spirit nigga. He ain't playing. He ain't dancing. He ain't up here yeeting. He's up here breaking people off. Like, you see him yesterday, he came out of nowhere, running around the ring and just spearing people. Jey Uso ain't really doing that. You feel me? He's not like Braun Breaker would have broke if he had his arm in a handcuff and Gunther would have had Seth Rollins up there bleeding like that. Braun Breaker would have gnarled his arm off to get over to Seth Rollins, bro. That nigga's he would have got his arm off and he'd have broke his arm to get them. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel that same vibe. Jay was sitting over like, nigga, this is your twin brother. Y'all share the same womb. You better get over. What do you I just feel like he just don't have that like that. You feel me? He just don't have it.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
But also when the
he ain't got that dog in him. Let me know. I hear you over. We got people coming into the Discord. They were speaking. He ain't got that dog in him.
That's Baron. Baron's here.
I'm here now. I'm here. Sorry guys, I'm late.
No. I had somebody else came in too. Yeah, my homie Gator came in too. Yeah, what's up? A lot of people watching tonight. Baby. That's what I'm liking to see.
So, what I'm arguing is, again, you take that. Okay, yes, what we saw recently, that was what it was. But again, if you look at Jay's resume, you got one half of the most tenured tag team champions of all time. You got one half of the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. This man has records to his name. He has classics to his name. He's got the resume signed, sealed, delivered. Now, Braun, his time will come. We all know that. That's undeniable. But if we're comparing resumes and all that, I can argue that Jay, respectfully, even though he's a tag team specialist, he's worthy of that upper echelon.
Yeah, he is. For sure. No, he is. But there's levels to this shit. And you know that. So I just don't feel like they've allowed him. They gave him a ceiling. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't have had him lose to Gunther again.
That's true.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, the WWE put a ceiling on him. Not saying he ain't ready or that they shouldn't give it to him, but for some reason
they thought he was, and it seems like he may be inkling a little bit past that.
Put it
that
like
title
this.
run was doomed when they gave him that Seth Rollins match.
Yeah, bro. Like,
he was for that one.
Think about how long Gunther had the belt. How long he was the title whooping people's ass, bro. Like, he solidified himself as a badass. Like, You don't gotta test him. You know what's up when you get in the ring. Jay Uso ain't the same. His title run gonna be like a joke almost, like a. They gave it to you and then took it right back. Like they gave it to him.
That's the length of it.
Give me
I'm
that
sorry.
back.
I know I'm just stepping in. I don't know who that other guy was, but I know that
He was very professional.
You're very professional.
Yeah.
Give it up for the other guy who was here in the mask. He did an amazing job.
I don't know what was going on. My stuff was already pulled up. I don't know what's going on. Yay. Look at like. I don't think the length of the title reign is what determines whether it was good or bad. Kane held the WWE title for 1 day. And that, nobody ever said that was a joke.
But Kane was a dominant big man who whooped people's ass. Like when people were scared of Kane.
So let me give you an example. Remember who did Jinder Mahal beat? Randy Orton or was it AJ for the belt?
Who?
Say it again.
When Jinder Mahal won, did he beat AJ or Randy?
Oh, I don't know.
Randy.
Okay, so he beat Randy. It started out the drizzling shit, but when it ended, it started getting pretty good. And then folks started putting a little more respect on the Maharaja's name. I'm not putting Jay in that category as Jinder Mahal, but it's one of those, again, that was one of the things where if you let it marry a little bit longer, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like Jay's doing his thing. I'm not saying that. He's definitely come up and solidified himself as a top superstar. But
he won't be a one-time world champ. I don't think
I don't think that either.
It's just right everything is.
It's in a weird state.
I can see him being champion, and I'm fine with it. But at the same time, like I don't feel to be the success that he is, and the crowd like sensation. Like how many times did Austin not have the belt, and he was still like the most popular one in the crowd? I know it's not the same, but
it is though because Undertaker was like that. He don't got the most title runs. Like he been in the business. What 20-something WrestleManias? He only got 6 title runs, maybe 6. The Rock too. The Rock ain't have the belt that many times.
Yeah. And here's a big thing too, and we'll never know the insides of this, but I guarantee you, Jay doesn't see a drop in his like royalty checks from merch because he's no longer champion. Like he's still gonna be probably selling the most T-shirts aside from Cena. He's gonna be like the sunglasses, the foam hands, like all that. So he's still gonna be the top seller in the company without the title. So I don't think it's that big a deal. I mean, I like him, but I can see them taking the belt off of him to make something else bigger.
Yeah,
Jared, you got my brain going. So we can all agree that Jay is one of the rare few that is the ultimate utility guy, right or wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that notion, once upon a time, Vince McMahon, you're going to love this one. Vincent Kennedy McMahon himself believed that the ultimate utility man was once upon a time Mr. Christian Cage. How many years was he in WWE before he got his first World Heavyweight Championship? Not counting the ECW Championship.
That was a world title that was still a world title though. I mean, you can't just not.
No. Aside from ECW one, how long was it before it happened? Almost 20 years.
When Edge retired, finally.
It was when him and Randy were falling back on that weird Smackdown loop. But yes, around that time. So again, I'm not saying.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Go ahead.
One more match. I'm
gonna be honest, bro. When I was watching, Edge was cool. Edge was never to me top tier, nigga. I swear to God, bro. That's my opinion personally. Edge was cool, bro. Edge was cool, bro.
Him taking leader from Matt Hardy, I think is what really made him lit. Like I'm gonna be honest, bro.
That made him
had one of the best rivalries WWE's ever.
You can argue that was the rivalry because I put both of them on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Edge was cool, bro. He did his
Vince
thing.
bringing in the rated R superstar, bloody
at New Year's resolution after Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
Did his thing, bro. I can't knock him. Edge did his thing, but I'm saying, like, was he a Austin? Was he a Triple H?
I'm talking about Christian. I'm talking about Christian in respect to Jay because both were tag team guys, both scratched and clawed to that top of the mountain. When they got there, folks were like, "Hey, he should have been here all along." Because again, look at Christian, ECW, champ for TNA, champ for everyone else all over the world.
Very true.
Same with Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, but it's hard for like.
You need to chill,
I'm
bro.
a Jeff Hardy dude. What's going
Streets, you
on?
need to chill for
But,
because Coke
but,
come through and spear you through that green screen, bro. You need to relax, bro.
You know what? I'm like, well, I don't.
he,
You need to
if he tries to
relax, bro.
spear me, he might.
Right.
If he tries to spear me, he might pull a
Yo,
tackle
look, yo,
and break his leg while he's trying to spear me.
these is all just opinions. Look, I'm nobody. Don't come from my neck. Look, he
That
always
was
sitting back in the cut, like, oh yeah, streets.
through this
Oh, okay.
window. There's a window behind
Okay.
me.
Oh yeah, you gonna be there July 25th, huh? I got you. Huh? That's why you looking at the show. Because we all know everybody in the WWE universe is watching this show off the hip, the greatest podcast
Yes,
about wrestling
sir.
that there is,
Y'all
baby.
heard we got Tony Khan pull up.
Shout out Kanye. I see you out there. Man.
But again, I mean, we can draw a jag of who should be placed on where, but SmackDown show us that all started with one man and one man only, Mister Never Seen 17, the greatest of all time.
There it is.
Yeah.
Put that graphic one more time, AT, for the one time.
Oh yeah,
You
you
know
gonna
one.
do it up. I gotta get the one right here though. I'm gonna be honest though. I'm gonna hit you with this one right here, you heard? We're gonna hit you with that.
The truth has set you free.
Yeah, set you free.
You know what I'm saying? The only reason I say that because we just showed the
Absolutely.
folks this one. You know what I'm saying? We had to.
Hey, I had to grab the. I
Oh,
never
yeah.
noticed before that the tattoo on his stomach did say truth. I never noticed that.
Yeah,
I
so
had to
yes,
gra- I
all
had to grab
truth.
the figure to confirm it. It does say truth. I never
Yeah,
noticed.
yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna
Hey,
lie,
It's
here's
been
bro.
there for years. I just
I'm a
never
little
noticed
surprised with
that.
you, HD.
What was that, Razor?
I'm a little surprised that there's one other image that I thought you would have had on here that you have not shown yet.
Oh no.
Which one is that one?
Now I can send you an email, but there's one instance where as Mr. Jonathan Cena was telling the fans off whatever, and only he can. The state of Kentucky got an unexpected surprise from an individual from Monday Night Raw.
Oh yeah, you talk about Punk.
Biggest pop I have ever seen at a live wrestling show
Oh,
in my
yeah.
entire life.
Man, I'm surprised you guys your ears aren't bleeding still from that. That was a
Yeah.
roar.
Yeah, I mean,
It
yeah,
should have been
yeah.
there. Like it was.
That was fire.
Like we're all expecting R-Truth to come out and them just start
Yes.
scrapping.
The
I was
second we hit
I was like,
personality, I had to lower down my teeth because it was so goddamn loud.
Yeah,
I love how that
was.
was set up, bro.
I-
I love how that was set up.
I was
Yeah,
expecting
was
Truth
fire,
to come
bro.
out, then do
Yeah,
the brawl,
yeah, me
jump
too,
the
bro. I ain't gonna
locker
lie.
room, separate them. Like,
Yeah, they did
like
good on
when
that.
Brock came back, that was still one of my favorite segments of all time when him and
Well, that
Brock
was
had to be
beautiful.
separated.
We talking
But,
about
like-
this one right here, this image right here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It
That
was
fire, bro.
And that promo was amazing.
Yeah, I
Absolutely
left
fantastic.
when I left out. You know what I'm saying? When I was champion, I left. You trying to imitate me? You trying to mimic
Oh,
me?
You sound like CM Punk.
You sound like
Oh.
CM Punk right now. I'm like, yo, he's in his bag right now. That shirt you got on was fire too. I didn't see that bitch. I would have bought that motherfucker. I
Yeah,
didn't
they
see
did
that.
not-
though.
well, I mean,
they didn't have
that's
that
the
bitch.
other
That's
thing.
petty.
I
Don't
might
be
have
wearing
got
those shirts you ain't got for
suspicious.
sale.
I might have got suspicious if they had a bunch of Punk T-shirts.
I
was
got
like,
this
why are
nigga's
they selling
hat.
Raw stuff.
Look,
The
this hat
hat-
matches that.
I didn't
It
even.
matches
I
that
wasn't even
shirt.
thinking of the hat, like because I did see it out there, but I was like, oh, it's just a
Petty.
hat. But like
Petty, bro.
every shirt they had was
Petty,
all
bro.
like SmackDown.
Petty,
dudes.
bro. Cause that shirt is low key fire, bro, with the
Nah,
black
that
baby
joint heat
blue.
right there. I ain't gonna lie, that joint heat.
And he didn't. And then when he was in the lobby, I told y'all we walked in with Fraxium. We walked in with them niggas, bro. We walked with your boy, and I
We
thought
didn't
I
even
knew
realize who
him.
it was.
Yeah, I looked to my right and I see him walking with us. I just kept walking, bro. I was like, yep. I thought he was a regular person, bro. I didn't even pay him no attention until he got in line. I swear to God, he got in line and people started crowding around him. I was like, Chris, now who the fuck is that? Who is that? And he was like, I don't know.
And then
dude.
I was
think
like, we could not remember his name.
You
at
can
all.
remember that I'm looking. I'm like, nah, I know, buddy, bro. Because when I first seen him, I'm like, he looked familiar. But I just kept moving, bro. Then when I started looking, I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Because he had his hair back in the ponytail. And you know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute. And somebody was like, I think that's a buddy from Fraxing. I'm like, oh, that is that nigga, bro. That's that
Goldie,
nigga who
I
tried.
seen you.
Yeah. When he was mad cool, though, bro.
And I felt bad. I'm like, okay, I know who this guy is now. Like I told him, I was like,
You
yeah,
can't-
this is the guy
yeah.
from Fraxcom.
Yeah,
We
he
could
can't
not
be mad
remember
at us.
his
He
name
just got there. Yeah, he just got
until
there,
it
though. He only
finally
been there.
popped up.
Yeah, he
Like
just
someone said his name out loud. I was like, that was his name. Like,
yeah.
apparently, CM Punk walked right next to us and through us, but had the guy that said it. I don't know. He seemed kind of like a quackpot, but he said CM Punk had his hoodie up and a hat on, like he did not.
No, I
want to be
seen that
messed with.
dude. No, I seen that dude. There was a dude who definitely went over by a desk over in the back, and then he did something and left real quick.
But apparently, he said that guy was Punk, and he was just he was making it clear he was not. And anybody that knew who it was, it was clear it did not want to be messed with as far as with the fans.
You didn't see anybody.
Yeah, don't approach me. He said he's a dick when he don't want to be approached.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, it shows he'll be nice. Like if you're waiting at like the gates, like we tried to find last night, and apparently you just never leave Rep Arena. You're just there forever. There's no exit.
We got the whole Cena situation unfolding right before our eyes. He got about, I think yesterday was 18 dates left, maybe 17.
We're definitely top 20, which is crazy.
Right, and we got so many people in front of him. We got Truth, we got CM Punk, Randy Orton, we got Cody. Do we see a big multi-man match, or or is this strictly like Baron said earlier? They throwing shit at us to see what's going to give us more of a reaction, more of a pop. I think
you ain't get a bigger reaction than Pepsi Man himself, CM Punk, unless you get Brock Lesnar. There will not be a bigger reaction aside from this man right here.
Brock will tear the building off. He will destroy whatever building.
I mean, CM Punk pretty much said it. I'm here again to make your title run interesting, make it palatable.
Even best day, you can never beat me.
Yeah, so
and he even touched on, Money in the Bank 2011. He won the belt in his hometown, walked out, no contract, with the belt, trying to ruin wrestling. And here we have Cena do the same thing. He touched on it on Monday. Like he said, once upon a time, Cena ain't the Boston Red Sox. He's become the New York Yankees. He's Mr. Corporate now.
And here's what I
call him a hypocrite.
As big as they are on callbacks right now, I 100% guarantee you he cost Cena the match against Truth just like he did in 2011.
Oh, you almost got to at that point.
Yeah, because I mean, when Cena was going for that AA and B flipped the table and then R-Truth put him to the table, maybe we see that Slim Jim table again.
And imagine, of all people, Wade Barrett, who was there at that time, recants that same story.
And you really kind of like, if you could honestly have a story go too, if Wade wanted to come out of retirement, which has always been a rumor.
Yes.
Who got Wade kicked out of the Nexus? CM Punk. When he took it over and had everybody vote for him, Wade got kicked out.
And who was Wade Barrett trying to recruit into the Nexus? John Cena.
So there's essence there for sure. And he did, like that was the first time that it was the very first Raw at the Yum Center here in Louisville. That was Cena was fired and it ended up just like running roughshod over the entire Nexus because he, just an interference. He didn't work there. So he had, the under the ring and then just disappeared. So he's got history with both there. That would be cool, I think. Bring Wade Barrett back and let Wade Barrett and Cena go at it. Wade gets fed up with Cena doing all this, and like you stopped me when I was in the prime of my career. I could have, become WWE champion. I could have won Rumbles, done all this, but you had to kill it because you're Big Match John, and you had all the say. Do like they did with Becky, and then put him in that Hulk Hogan role. He politicked his way into winning that match. That I would like to see that. Wade versus Cena could be great.
HG, I'm gonna steal one of your ideas real quick. I need to bring back Justin Gabriel. I need to bring back Michael Tarver. Fucking bring back Skip Sheffield, aka Mr. Ryback.
Oh no! Now you lost me. We don't need Ryback.
Okay, Bear. What do you have against Ryback?
Oh, what you got against Ryback?
I'm curious now.
Number one, he almost took out the Second City Saint for being reckless, and two, dude, like. Have y'all followed him on Twitter over the last couple of years? Dude is a train.
TikTok.
Do y'all think I should retire from wrestling? Gets 99% like absolutely you should. You suck.
Oh, okay.
No,
He's
stupid, I ain't
so
retiring.
he's the bodybuilder equivalent of Vince Russo. He's Vince
Oh,
Russo
How come I
again.
didn't see this? Brian is for the boys. My bad. I'm sorry, I missed your comments, John. I don't know what's going on.
yeah,
Brian is
Vince
NIL.
Russo though, like,
Oh,
don't
okay,
get
so,
me
so
on him
Barry, hear
either.
me out. You swap out Ryback for Brian
There you
Danielson. Is
go.
that better?
That well, hang on. Are you legitimately comparing Brian Danielson to
No, 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 no. I'm saying you swapped them out for this Wade Barrett return.
to have Brian come back for against Cena? I don't think is as powerful. They never really
No,
had
but
beef.
no, no,
Cena always puffed up
no.
Brian
What
Danielson.
I'm saying, if hypothetically, now we are spitballing now, if Bear was to get this big return and you want to go full fledged on the Netflix, get the guy that got fired in his debut, choking out Justin Roberts, Daniel Bryan.
I could be. I mean, he said he's pretty much done. I think he's like
No,
Edge
no,
was. He's in
you
that.
said recently, huh? He wants to come
The
back.
last thing I remember him saying is he was pretty much done in ring, and he had some injuries that
No,
were pretty
sir.
severe.
He wants to come back, but no doctor will clear him.
Wow.
He's trying to come back.
Oh, Danny
Well, I
Bryan?
mean that to me that's the same. Like, I mean, even if he wants to, if like Edge wanted to, but he like knew it could be bad. Now, if Daniel Bryan goes and gets somebody to like sign off on that, that's just stupid. Like, take
Hey, he did it for the
hey,
last couple years in AEW.
but I mean, obviously things have gotten worse now if they won't clear him. And AEW cleared everybody. I mean, Paige got cleared when it was said she would never do it again. That's part of the problem with AEW is those risks are so high. Like, it's not like this is ballet, like this cliche. This isn't ballet, but like things are so dangerous over there that's the problem. You have a show where it's how can I be more dangerous the next week to get a bigger pop? And that's not like you're making them less special while you think you're just escalating wrestling. Like you're making it more dangerous and like setting yourself up for failure down the road.
That's the unfortunate part. And you have guys like Osprey stating that they're doing much better than anybody on WWE right now.
What was that? The what?
You got Osprey claiming that AEW is literally clearing WWE right now as we speak.
There's not a. All right. Are we going AEW versus WWE right now?
They already ruined the Hurt business. AT, we talked about this earlier.
Because the MJF is in it?
No, you had MJF and MVP's gear essentially.
I want AEW to be awesome. I wanted them to succeed so bad. I was huge on it several years ago. Like I was more excited about storylines there than in WWE. And then it's just like they just killed it. Like there's no creative focus. It feels like there's you got Osprey cutting a promo on TV saying that the company sucks. Like they're just
I'm not afraid of the grind, bro. Also,
like, sidebar. The reason AEW sucks.
Congrats to him. So the man is now engaged. So congrats to him. But again, young man, choose your words wisely.
Yeah, like that's the. I mean, I don't know. It's just AEW. Like there's so much potential there, but like, I don't know. I think if they need to get away, like from. There's a reason WWE is as big as it is. Like you hold those spots. Like if I see Darby Allin come out, I'm automatically assuming something dumb and dangerous is about to happen. Like if you know that that's coming, you take away what makes those things special. Like how often did someone get thrown off the top of Hell in a Cell? They don't. Number one, because it was unplanned and the producers didn't know it was going to happen. And two, it would kill.
Are we counting all the McMahons as one fall? Because Shane did it like 20 times. So are we counting the McMahons as a whole as one individual fall?
I don't count did Vince ever get thrown off the top of the cell? Or he never get. Shane did that thing off the side, but he landed on a giant air cushion, so I don't count that.
Technically, Vince fell once, technically, but he wasn't that high off the ground. But he was like halfway up.
Was it intent? Did Vince intend to fall, or did he just fall? Was that a botch?
He got
Basically, I
smacked.
don't know. I think I remember what you're talking about now, but I don't
He
think
got
that was
smacked
intended.
and then sold it. If memory serves, similar to Shane, he took a shot and then just like jumped off or projected off.
That's right. I think somebody hit him with a chair. I think Austin hit him with a chair, and he tried to go into the table or something.
Yeah.
It's.
And
I don't know.
I just falling off of just about everything like Jeff Hardy.
And then we can go into like with AEW too, like
shout out to the GOAT, Jeff Hardy.
Go to like when Penta was there, and you had these strings of Mexican destroyers. Like they don't protect moves anymore. So like if you're doing 5 Mexican destroyers in a match,
Yeah,
it's not special anymore.
Well, we already talked about this. I said that like they did the same thing with the stunner and with Shawn Michaels super kick. They just took our favorite wrestlers' finishers and just made them to where anybody could do them. Like they just a regular moveset. You got people kicking
super
out.
Kick is definitely there. I think the stunner is still kind of protected. Like who else has ever done it besides KO? I can't really think of anyone.
Yeah, but it's like you gotta call it something else. Back in the day, that would have been blasphemy, bro. Listen to me. Randy Orton and Diamond Dallas Page have the same exact move, right? But they definitely execute that shit.
Variation and execution.
Do you see? What did you just say? There's a slight variation. I was gonna say the same exact thing, bro. Like, what's the variation between Kevin Owens and Stone Cold?
Well, and also, I mean, I guess Randy was never really active at the same time DDP was. So.
Do you see what I'm saying? They weren't even in the same company. It's like
what I will say is, as far as the AW side, a lot of folks are using a variation of a cutter, stunner, whatever. That's that fucking stupid ass move called Stun Dog Millionaire.
Personally, I think Cody's is the best.
There's like whatever.
In my opinion, I think the Cody cutter is the best. Just hopping off the top rope, as long as the person's in the right position, I think is aside from the RKO, the best cutter out there right now. As far as
it is, but it should end matches when he does that, and it doesn't end the match. It pisses me off.
Like that top rope one he did with Damian Priest
last night was
crazy.
Yeah, it looked beautiful. It looked
that was his best one.
He just tried to do a double Cody cutter, and it looked ugly.
The double botches, but then he hits a perfect top rope one on Priest.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to that, is it me or does Cody have a knack of overshooting that Cody cutter? So it's almost like he's like ass on the shoulders when he drops them.
And that's I don't know if it's Cody overshooting or the other guy's not being in the correct position. It's hard to say. You know, it could be both. Honestly, it could be either one.
Right.
Let's go, Streets. I see you out there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. To me, it looks a bit like he might be overshooting it. It just doesn't look as clean. But that Priest one, that was as clean as it looked. I'm be honest. That was that was it.
He did his thing right there with that one.
I mean, and on the topic of like that was a fatal 4 match. That was the main event. But to talk about the women's one, Jade Cargill moves on.
Woo!
Oh, talk about a goat right there. She's in the ring with a goat.
Man, yeah.
Charles Robinson.
There you go.
I told Streets last night I would have been happy if I could have had Charles last night. His autograph. That would have made my day.
Charles is cool as hell too. The last SmackDown I went to, I was sitting by the entranceway, and I yelled out his name, and he gave me a reaction. He gave me the little head nod with the little wink, like, "Yeah, I see you over there." I'm like, "All right now, yes sir, Charles." Yeah, man, he cool.
I didn't mean to pull off topic. I just didn't know Charles would be. I'm a big fan of Charles.
Oh no!
Have y'all ever watched his match?
Bro,
is he the one from the Vince era there still?
Aside from Truth, yeah.
No, literally.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. That run to the ring, that wrestle, whatever. Bro,
GOAT
that's
status
legendary.
that day. That day he achieved GOAT status.
That was like,
and I noticed when he did that sprint, not a hair out of place.
I'm saying, bro, you would have thought it was a movie. Like that gift right there is a movie. I'm not gonna lie. Like they turned the camera, he's still running. Like you think like that shit is cap? Nah, he was really.
He was moving.
Like that's a wow.
You know how niggas fight. Running this hard out.
Back to the subject, Jade. I think it's clear where they're going here. Obviously, I think Jade will win Queen of the Ring, get her title shot. Maybe she wins at SummerSlam. Naomi cashes in or attempts to cash in.
That's what I think is gonna
Now,
happen. I don't think she's gonna
so
get
did
over
they
the win.
announce? I don't know who, but did they announce like who like which championship is up for grabs in this tournament, or much like Money in the
They
Bank, or
said
they choose which women's champion they can go after?
when they first announced the King or Queen of the Ring, like Michael Cole went over it. It was that the winner would receive a title shot from their respective show.
Okay,
If Cody wins, it's Cena. If Sammy wins, it's Gunther. Now
gotcha.
that could change, that's all subject to change, but that was how it was originally pitched on TV.
Okay, so I'm
Makes
curious
sense.
about that. Forgot it. I think I missed it when every time Cole would
Let me
announce
ask
it.
y'all straight up, straight jacket, off the hip. Do y'all feel like this implication of the title match at SummerSlam could like harm storylines? Because I like the
Yes.
idea, but it's kind of sudden. Last 2 years,
Yeah.
we see in a situation where King of the Ring occurs, and now, regardless of what storylines are taking place, the winner of this King of the Ring is gonna get a title shot.
Title shot, no matter what.
Uh-huh.
Was that not a thing in the past?
No,
Nah,
it was just an accolade, something for the
Yeah,
resume.
back in the day, yeah.
you
It
walk
was just
around with your crown, whatever
yeah,
you.
remember because that's when
Usually it
when the
would be to
Stone
get it
Cold when he came
changed.
around when he beat
Mhm.
Jake the Snake was the King of the Ring, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
When he
that's
became
what
Austin 316,
was
yeah.
for.
So yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say, yeah, King of the Ring was just bragging rights. Used to get like a little crown and a scepter, but
I mean,
yeah,
That
it
was
now
has
the
the
way.
way
even
resulted
it's
in good
fast forward, you
stories.
had guys like Sheamus win, you had Xavier Woods
yeah,
win.
and
It
it's
was a
almost
King
platform to put
King
a
Booker. That
spotlight.
was arguably his
yeah.
best run. Was King
And I
Booker.
and I
Yeah.
think that they're setting this up on purpose. I think that they know that Money in the Bank just happened, and that it guarantees a title shot whenever they want to cash it. Now it gives you a title shot at the next pay per view, so it almost guarantees storylines even if they don't have any. I think that's why it's a lot of action, a lot of stuff going on right now because they have so many avenues in which they can go down at this current moment. And
But
what we gonna
in
say?
Jade's case, if you think about it, you essentially have one, if not two, stores already ready to go with
Yeah,
Bianca
exactly.
and Naomi.
And then same thing with
So, speaking of Bianca, she hurt her finger, broke her finger around Mania season, and she's still supposed to be out for a few months longer.
well, maybe they're doing that on purpose. Maybe it's
Yeah.
healing up. Maybe they're giving her. Hey, she was working hard for the longest time. Hey, while you're hurt, go ahead and take a little time and have a little vacation as well. Enjoy your money, rest up. Maybe come back with some new moves, new
I'm just
outfits,
thinking from
new shit.
from an athletic perspective.
Wait a minute.
A broken
Wait,
finger
maybe,
doesn't take that long to heal.
maybe Metro Boomin comes in with. Maybe she leads off with the new Metro Boomin entrance music. You know what I mean? Maybe they use it on her. Maybe they do. You know what I'm saying? They got some stuff in the works, but
Keeping her off television is key if you want to turn her heel
Mm-hmm.
and align her with Naomi and
Yep.
screw over Jade. Then we could
Facts.
possibly get to the Jade
And that's
and
another good
Bianca.
tag team.
Jade and Bianca,
What
yeah,
other
because
good
that's gonna
female
be
tag
huge.
teams do they have right now that are solid and established tag teams?
And
Hmm.
I think everybody want to see that Jade and like you said Bianca because they're the two top dogs, man. And I think that even when they had Jade losing to Tiffy, I felt like that was kind of like she had to slow down for Tiffy. Like they had to make her
She
look like
didn't lose. It was a
she
no
didn't lose.
contest.
But I'm saying, but they had her setting up like she wasn't really like dog walking like she do everybody else. You know what I
Right,
mean? And
right.
I felt like that was just kind of storyline because you could clearly tell that she was.
Cause that match specifically kind of pissed me off because the way that match ended was
Mhm.
Jade started to get the better of Tiffany at the end, and
And
then
then Naomi
Naomi
had came
comes.
out.
Yeah,
But I think that's gonna happen this time. I
That
think that
match should have never
Jade's
happened.
probably gonna have her time, and Naomi's gonna try and maybe come and cash in. One of
exactly.
these times. I think that
So,
I don't know if it'll be there like right at the pay per view. I think she's gonna try something, and something's gonna happen, and she's not gonna get that upper hand, and they're gonna kind of drag it out for
I'm
a
not
minute.
gonna lie. SummerSlam, MetLife, 2 nights. I'll be surprised if they don't do a moment there.
Yeah, they're gonna do something.
who's
They're gonna do
dethroning
something.
Tiffany?
Who's what?
I mean, I think
Tiffany.
I think Tiffany will hold it until SummerSlam, and then Jade will get it.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. The way that Naomi was cutting that promo on Tiffy, bro, it's like that's different than when Charlotte was in front of Tiffy. Like I
Yeah,
feel
for
like
sure.
Charlotte tried to really do some real big bad veteran shit. Naomi's really in character on some like
No, just keeping it in the book.
yeah, like you're not fucking with me. Like
Did she tell the crowd, "Shut up, bitch"? Did she tell them that?
Yep.
I thought I was tripping, my nigga. I thought I was like, did she just call her in my head? I was like, did she say "shut up, bitch" to Tiffany or the crowd? But I was like, what?
Did you hear that?
Listen, you heard me, bitch.
I will say,
you heard me, bitch. I was like,
kind of
oh.
green at first
Shut
when
up,
she
bitch.
came. Like the last few months, Tiffany Stratton has definitely grown by a tremendous amount. Like her promo last night, I thought was really good. Her ring stuff's getting better. And now I'm just looking at the picture.
You got mesmerized by the yams. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hey, look,
that thing poking, right?
the
Big
capital.
Big Jim.
Jim.
Big Jim.
Look, hey, I was gonna say, look, Big Jim, she got you in that briefcase, boy. I see why, nigga.
That was
capital
nice
P.
too.
Capital P turned backwards. Boy, Jesus Christ, what is going on? That's crazy.
That's why they call the OG Big Jim.
Oof, oof, oof.
Hey,
I see why.
do you think, looking at that picture, do you think that guy
Hey, look.
in that gray polo realizes he is sitting in royal seats right there?
Sign guy seats.
Yeah,
the
green
green
shirt guy. Whatever happened to sign guy? Whatever happened to him?
Oh. Also, I have some unfortunate breaking news. The Hall of Famer himself, the Godfather, was in a vehicle accident recently, but thankfully he is safe and healthy.
Man,
that's good. That's good.
Number one.
Godfather OG.
About the Undertaker's health scare.
Yeah.
Oh,
crazy. Apparently he had something wrong in his heart, and they found out about it like 2 weeks before Mania 40, was it, or 41, and then they
has
go out
after Mania.
Yeah, and then the next day he goes to the hospital, and when they get back from Mania, he goes in for their heart surgery. It's all fixed now, and it's good, but
man, he was in that Hall of Fame speech about to pass out.
Well, I mean, his wife was going for an hour by herself.
Man.
So that's not his fault.
Yeah.
She said everybody thought she was emotional. She said everybody thought she was emotional because of the speech. It was really because of Taker.
Yeah, so she was apparently it was 2 weeks of just like super nervous, living hell for her.
But again, we're thankful that he's healthy, safe, and sound.
Yeah,
she has also I guess, essentially replaced his co-host for his podcast.
Yeah, it's no longer like a private, like his own thing. Like they kind of like what happened with Stone Cold. Say WWE is producing it all now and doing it like in their studio thing or built in a studio or something. So it like production value is probably going to go up, but it'll probably be a lot more like.
I mean, the setup looks nice now, but I mean, I thought him and the other guy had pretty good chemistry.
No, I did enjoy. Like it was one of the, it seems like everybody's, all the stars are getting their own. Since TKO's letting them do that stuff now, they're all kind of branching out. But his was pretty good. Like I did enjoy his.
I just thought it was interesting how first she essentially replaces Big Jim for season 2 of LFG, which debuts I think next week. But on top of that,
was really
shitty.
Like Mickey James is great, so I don't know why they would.
So my brain was like, again, is she just interjecting herself, or what's the real story? Because again, first LG stuff, now they're co-hosts together on the podcast. What's really going on?
I don't know. It looked like she mad humble, and it looked like Undertaker got the a little bit more pull to get her things that he wasn't able to get with Vince, maybe. So now he's using that chance.
Taking no for nothing.
What happened?
Vince was telling Taker no for nothing. That's the only moment I stayed loyal with him.
So why hasn't it happened sooner? An induction for Michelle McCool. She been retired the same amount of time. It hadn't happened under Vince's
Yeah,
watch.
I
but
mean,
again,
was that? Let's be honest here. Of the four of us, did any of us have like, why the hell haven't they inducted Michelle McCool? Did that thought ever cross
is,
any of our minds?
is
Nah,
the question is was she eligible? I say no, unfortunately, because again, the
I
resume
mean,
just scream
how
out to
many
me.
people in the Hall of Fame aren't like you wouldn't be your pick? You know, like
There's
I
a
mean,
few.
it's. I mean, it's not like surprising. Like, I mean, I thought she was good. Eventually, you know,
To pass them over, let's just say, just for conversation, like a Gail Kim, or even Stacy Keebler, even or Melina. Who would be another interesting one?
China's not in.
Mickey
Is China?
James
Did they
isn't in
put
there, is
China?
she?
It would be the big one. Is Lita in yet?
No.
I think so. I don't know. I don't think
If
so.
she's not, then again, I rest my case. I know Trish is in, but I don't know if Lita's in or not.
But if I'm
Well, I
looking
know,
at
like,
a active competition, Michelle McCool, they'll bring her back like a legend appearance, like Roy Rumble, like you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. So I think she would qualify. Did her body of work? They said she was a champion. I really wasn't in tune with that era like that. When females came on and Michelle McCool and them, I probably was doing something else in my career. Like you know what I'm saying. So like,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess if she's
The,
a, I'd be like, it's tough.
I will say this: there will not be a Michelle McCool without Layla. Let's be honest, because when I had the Layla stuff, that was the height of the stuff. I mean, yes, you had essentially. AJ, do you remember the old girl that was coming up with the batship Shaniqua
Who?
after coming up? The dark skin chick that was coming up with the batship
Yep,
brothers back
yep,
in the
yep,
day.
yep. I do.
Okay, so again, with all due
She was
respect,
mad brolic. Yeah.
with all due respect, in my based on my observations, watching as a fan at the time, Michelle McCool's gimmick was very similar to that. Not in the sexual area. It's just again, she's just coming out almost like the ballet. Then comes out as similar to even the Matt Striker gimmick, where she's coming out as a teacher. Then grows into almost I don't want to say an enhancement talent, but she kind of gave up that for a minute. Granted, Vince was doing it with the women on top of that, but she could ironically go, much like a Beth Phoenix. But she really didn't find her own until the late cool stuff came around. So
I
if they
agree.
were going to if they were going to put her in, put Layla in too, because that was the height of what both of them were doing respectfully. That would have been that would have got a much better, I guess, voice or what's what I'm looking for. That would have got a much
um,
better reaction than just Michelle McCool by herself. Because this is screamed, okay, this is the Undertaker's wife. That's why we're putting her in. If that's the case, put Sable in because that's Brock Lesnar's wife. That's how I kind of looked at it.
well,
I mean,
that's
Sable
the
was just as
Sable.
much of a legend too to me. Like growing up, she was a
Well, you
legend.
see where I'm going with
Facts it
this.
was.
She was like one of the first females I seen
Mhm.
powerbomb a dude. She powerbombed Mark Merrill. Like I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, I remember that, bro. Wow.
Her then
I just
husband, Mark
saw
Merrow.
something
Right.
interesting that I know was not on here before. I was trying to see if they listed all the members of the Hall of Fame on the website, which I can't find that,
You can
ironically.
look for it,
But
but it's there.
somebody's been moved to the active superstar who was specifically not on this list like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar has now been listed as an active superstar.
Woo! Yo, you heard it here first, guys.
He is 100%
Wow.
listed. He's right next to Braun Breaker as an active
Crazy once
superstar.
upon a time.
Active
Said,
super.
hold on, wait.
Okay, time
I
out. Real
know.
quick. Real quick.
It's possible
Real
he's been
quick.
on there for weeks, maybe. I don't know.
Where
I
do you
know
where
he
do you
was
place him
removed.
in the midst of all this
As far as
storyline?
my brother in Christ, this is again much like Cena and Randy. This is one of the faces of the generation. As
Yeah.
Ellen had said, this what was the exact verbiage? The what Ellen had said to Randy Punk and Orton or to Cena, the establishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could easily put Brock in that category. And he's one of those guys to where he can be plug and play with almost anybody in that division. And there's folks in this current regime that's on the active roster that want to smoke with Brock just because, hey, they want to know what's like to tangle up with the beast incarnate. They want to know what's like to tag him with the Conqueror, the one in the 21-1. Put some respect on his name. And again, in
Yeah,
my opinion, a bona fide Hall of Famer.
yeah, for sure.
No doubt, and that's the thing that sucks right now in our like social media. This will be the thing that gets me. Like people are not gonna like this. In our social media, everybody jumping to everything to express their opinion, which is ironic. I'm saying this as we're on a podcast expressing our opinion. Like, dude got if he's involved in the stuff, whatever punishment comes, he's deserving of. If
Right.
what is being alleged is true, it's the innocent till proven guilty is clearly not a thing anymore. Like everybody's like it's all like worst case scenario. It's possible it's not true. Like that's still a possibility.
It's very likely.
If it comes out, but like I think he got done dirty for not
Edge.
being named and just
Thank
to
you
get
so much, bro.
immediately forgotten about. I feel was not fair to somebody who did a lot.
Let's be honest. And again, for sake of conversation, this Brock Lesnar situation with whatever he's been accused or been named in,
Oh, bro,
if he is
thank you so much,
found
And
Edge.
not even
innocent,
that, and that's all conjectures. Maybe they meant
this is the Benoit situation. Let's look at it that regard. This will not be a Benoit situation if he is found innocent with whatever he's being accused of or being named in. That's how I look at it.
right.
Now again, I still love Benoit because that was one of my favorite wrestlers as a kid.
Him,
But
I was my dog. Man. I had the same birthday as homie. I just knew he was the truth.
Well,
bro.
hang on. Maybe it doesn't mean as much because I kept scrolling down the list, and Shane McMahon is still listed on there as an active superstar as well. So maybe
Shane might
that
come
doesn't
back.
mean as much, but
Maybe Shane will come back.
these are all people listed on the website as active superstars. Like, I mean, here's Trick Williams, Uncle Howdy. All these people are current. Well, okay, never mind. Valhalla's on that list, and she just got released. So never mind. Maybe this is not as big a deal.
let's take it with a grain of salt for a second. Like I said, if Brock by chance is found innocent or whatever, no matter now we have learned that John Laurinaitis is now siding with the Janelle Grant party to speak out against Vince and the Priest regime. But if by chance Brock's hands are clean in this, which there is a chance, the whole innocent to proven guilty, just say the man's innocent. The fact anyone can be named to any accusation, that's the unfortunate circumstance of life. But if his hands are clean and all this, put his ass on TV that night.
Yeah.
Here comes the pain. Play like sometimes you do with Jey Uso.
Yeah.
I'm good now. I'm good.
That'd be OD fire to put him in there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think
Well,
he would
and
really
that's
shake
the thing with
things
it
up.
not being named. Like, what if how like everybody like, hey, do you have a Coke? But you don't mean Coke, you just mean a soda. What if when they say a UFC champion, what if they meant somebody that maybe fought in a different promotion, but it's all UFC? Like, what if it was Bobby Lashley?
Rabbit hole. Lashley was Belcher, but however, at the time when this stuff was surfaced, and within the timelines, allegedly, they did have two other UFC champions on the roster in Cain Velasquez and Ronda Rousey. I'm just putting it out to just for conversation.
Yeah, and then but think of like what about the other fighters?
Another UFC champion.
They could have just said they were a UFC champion. What if it was a Bellator champion and they just used the word
UFC champion?
But that's what I'm saying. What if when the lawyer said that in the statement, when they say UFC champion, it was just somebody who was a mixed martial artist? What if it was and they just misspoke and it was never actually a UFC champion?
Hey, shit, you're gonna love this one. Daniel Puder.
Man. I mean, Matt Riddle was in the
We're not accusing anybody. We're just naming names who have affiliations with them at a certain point in time for conversation purposes. Nothing more than that, folks.
Thanks. Factual.
But a lot of people that's attached to the situation, I think Brock Lesnar, if he's cleared, he should be good to go, man. And he's a beast.
I'm calling it.
Yeah, he's
Can
like a
you
final
imagine,
boss.
like, if Cena says there's no one left, like,
No
out of
one left.
all,
And
this is the last show?
that the music
Bro.
hits and you hear
Like if you
what?
like, yeah,
Now,
I hear all of these rivalries, Edge and Cena, Randy Cena, CM Punk, but I feel like the true person that Cena really couldn't
Couldn't
defeat
fuck with?
is
Yeah.
Brock, and that
the
was older
beast.
Brock. He
Yeah.
had to beat younger Brock a different way. He had to be the Doctor of Thugonomics, Chain Gang. Oh, I'm gonna hit Brock like this. F
Even then, he
you,
struggled.
right?
Did he ever actually I think because he never got a title off Brock. There was never a title altercation there.
He won by DQ.
But it wasn't. But if they fought back in like 2002 when he was still like a new John Cena, well, no,
I,
didn't they ever fight back then?
no,
I think Brock was already
because
out the company.
Brock was out the door and Cena was on Raw, so they never really crossed paths unless it was OVW,
Well, when Brock left, was at WrestleMania 20.
right?
Was 2000
2004.
2004.
But
Cena
Cena
won
was
the US
picture
title.
for the U.S. title.
Because I don't recall any match unless it was like on a random.
They didn't cross paths till maybe between 2010 to 12 when he came back.
Yeah, that SummerSlam where he took
Yep.
him to
Oh no,
Suplex
no,
City.
hang on. He did have a match with Brock when
Oh,
Brock was still in the trunks, or yeah, the black trunks. What
Mhm.
folks, I love it when I'm wrong.
that was? It was if this would load.
That had to be 2003, 2002 then.
Um. Oh, he's still in the like his
Yeah, Mike had cut.
You muted, brother.
2002 in
Say it again. You
September.
said it again?
Can you repeat that, Baron? Cause it
Yeah,
had cut out.
it looks like their first match was on September 19th, 2002.
Hmm.
On Smackdown, Brock was the WWE champion, and this was right after John Cena premiered. I guess he was on such a high from fighting Kurt Angle that he thought he could take Brock. That's ballsy. And then
Yeah,
they fought
Cena had
again.
to turn into Doctor Thugonomics to beat him.
And here's Cena in jorts on a year or in February 13th, 2003, when he started the Doctor of Thugonomics.
I remember that shit. 'Cause I was a big Cena fan, and
Those are some long. This looks weird. It's long black jorts, and then like mid calf black boots. Like
Oh
that's a
yeah,
weird
yeah.
look for Cena.
Yeah, Cena
Before
was.
he went to the Reebok pumps,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, before those, like he's wearing like actual like wrestling boots. That's a weird
That was
look.
crazy. Yeah. He didn't know what he was doing.
And
He was
then
when
just
Brock-
getting
then
but when
involved.
Brock
Backlash
came back-
2003.
hmm
So these are matches I forgot about.
yeah, cause that was early on in both their careers.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So-
that was-
And then the next one was Extreme Rules 2012, which was a great match, I thought.
yeah.
that was the debut of Suplex City, or am I mistaken?
That was
Who?
SummerSlam.
That
Suplex
was the
City.
debut of Suplex City where he took the 16 Germans.
Whew, I
No,
remember
that was
getting
a couple years later.
that nigga was getting his head smashed. He kept suplex. I was like, dog, slow down, bro.
I think
He
what he
kept.
did-
He's already dead.
Yeah, he's taking him to Suplex City.
Right. Through an ad
when
lib.
Brock went,
Suplex City,
when
bitch.
Right.
the ring, the steps were inside the ring, and Brock ran from the ropes, jumped off the steps, and like hit Cena on the apron, but had so much
he flew
momentum,
out.
he just went flying through.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Like
he
that
flew
shit
out.
was crazy.
He hit the super spear before Braun.
That shit was like a super knee. He did like a jumping knee, some crazy shit.
Yeah,
I don't know what
SummerSlam
the hell
2014 was when he basically wiped Cena. It was like a fairly
Yeah,
fast.
I remember. Yeah, it was that
Yeah.
SummerSlam. Yeah. And then at that time, my fandom started to shift for Brock Lesnar because I'm like, I just literally watched mad UFC events with Brock Lesnar fighting. So I'm like, nah, bro, this dude legit. If he come back to WWE, he gotta be wiping these dudes.
Yeah, he gotta be
Like I'm not
maxing
here,
his fools.
but he
I remember
got you,
that.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like
remember
he
that.
shoot Yeah, he went to UFC and became a champion, bro.
And was beating his ass though. Wasn't just like he was whooping niggas ass. Had people
Bro, fighting
scared
the
to fight
best of
him.
the best. He lost
I
to
think
Frank
he would
Mir.
still be a very like maybe not now because now we're like 10 or what
Yeah, he
10
Brock
years
Lesnar
after the
kind of
fact.
John
If
Jones
he
wanted
had
to
never
fight him.
gotten sick, I think he would have stayed a UFC heavyweight champion for a long time.
Yeah, that shit
Yeah.
fucked
We would have got Lesnar versus John Jones at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Goat versus goat.
Yep.
That shit would have been dangerous for Brock, though. I ain't gonna lie, cause my man John Jones. I mean, bro, he's coked up,
No, you
fucking
never know
niggas up.
because
Bro,
hey,
he parties in
Brock,
the ring, bro. He's coked up, fucking niggas up streets. Like this man doing the lines before the
Yeah.
match, like, and come
Yeah.
out and just
You know
they calling
why?
it
yeah,
drugging
You
enhancement.
know
Yo,
why?
they
You
disqualified.
know why,
Bro, they
bro?
disqualified him like if it was a steroid. Like they said, nah, you losing this fight because you on cocaine. Bro, who you know gonna do cocaine, walk up in the fight and do good? Like, bro,
and,
Bro,
and
you
then
know
he's
why?
going to come out and say, "Hey, well, it's just his DNA. It happens once in a while. His body just produces his natural substance."
Nigga, listen to me. That nigga,
That's
listen to
Graham.
me. When you him it, bro, you can do whatever,
He
bro.
was him,
You ain't gotta work.
lie, bro. If
Brock was
Brock
also
Lesnar
Timothy
would have
too.
tried to grapple John Jones, he would have probably kneed him in the face. Bow, get out of here,
He said,
Brock.
"Out, yeah."
No.
You
He
never
got,
know,
like
bro.
when
But
he
yeah,
first came back and that
he probably would have did him
like
bad.
Suplex, he did the F5 to Cena, and then the next week they had that big brawl. I think there was a little thing where he kind of forgot how to work that punch. I mean, he busted Cena's mouth open good throwing those
He did
elbows.
that with Cena. Did that with Randy.
Randy, yeah, my man Randy out there
Yeah.
leaking like a faucet, bro.
Apparently, that was a big thing for a while where like they were upset about it. Apparently, Randy told him to do it. Now that we like after the
And,
fact,
and no one knew but Brock.
yeah. I mean, it's. Did you ever see he did a big like interview thing Paul Heyman did, and someone asked about the streak, like when was that decided, and he goes, "Was it decided? Like, what do you decide to do if you're the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar decides he's winning that match?" Like, and it's one of those things you're like, I want to say it's like messy, but what if that's true? Like, what if Brock really did like, I'm winning this match one way or another? Like, anybody, he could have done it to anybody. What are you gonna do? It's Brock Lesnar. What are you gonna do?
Bro, again, like I said, believability at that moment in time, that was already an Undertaker on the decline. There's no way he should have beat
Yeah.
Brock.
And I think Taker kind of acknowledged that too. It's like, hey, like, I'm on the downside. Brock's still going strong. At this point, the way I see it, there's really no one better to make him more credible.
Yeah, that was the like I think the perfect person to break the streak. Like it was a great choice. There nobody else could have done it as good for sure.
It created that shock factor, like that one dude that was in the crowd with that surprised face. Like
Yeah, like that black dude.
Yep.
I think you could have got that from almost
The
anybody if you see
glasses.
it.
Yep.
But like Brock being the one, kind of like
I bet
it
the
hurt
people
for
in
a
the
lot of
back. I bet the people in the back, like just the wrestlers, probably just like, "Oh my god!" You know what I'm saying? You've been watching since you're a kid, bro. Like, there's just certain things that you know what I'm saying. You know are gonna be guaranteed. One is the Undertaker winning at WrestleMania. He doesn't lose at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? I was watching that holding my son, bro. I remember that I was like, son. He was little too. My oldest son. I was holding him, watching WrestleMania. I was like on a laptop. I wasn't around my TV at the time. I was on vacation, so I was like, man, I just know this was fire, bro. He about to spank, bro. When he lost, I didn't drop my baby. I was like,
Can we address who schedules their vacation to not be home to watch WrestleMania?
man, at the time, the person I was with was just goofy, man. I was like, bro, okay. I'm like, I'm letting you know what's happening on this day.
Like streets, you always on
Right.
vacation.
Right. I was
That
like,
is
look, I'm letting you know.
no doubt. As soon as January 1st, luckily I'm with a company now where all my vacation gets front loaded, so you can like plan out your year.
Yeah.
Very first day off I put in was not anyone's birthdays, not holidays. January 1st hit. This year I took off 19 and 20 on April.
Got to.
Very first
Got
request
to.
I put in. As
Got
soon
to.
as that time was there, WrestleMania weekend was off for me. Like, don't talk to me, don't call me. I won't be available.
You know what it is, bro. Me, I'm definitely, you know, at that time, I just went with the flow, like whatever, man. You know, what I'm saying I'm gonna watch it, but I was on vacation.
Nah, I'm just messing. I'm just giving you shit, bro.
No, usually I wouldn't have been. I'll be
I
watching.
mean,
I was on vacation.
y'all mentioned WrestleMania. We only got one more topic on SmackDown, so I kind of want to just slide this in there. I noticed that the way they promoting this, they kind of went away from the numbers, right? WrestleMania, I don't see no 42. This is you feel like they should go away from the numbers. I mean, like we as fans, we're gonna know and
I ain't gonna lie.
acknowledge it.
I ain't gonna lie.
They
Like
gonna
I think it's.
acknowledge it. Hmm.
I'm sorry, Ashley. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no,
Like
you
get it out.
good.
No. Because you got it going, bro.
No,
I,
that's all I was gonna say. That we as fans is gonna acknowledge WWE on their website. They're gonna say WrestleMania 42. But if I'm a casual person looking at, if this is my first time ever wanting to watch a WrestleMania, I would never know that this is WrestleMania
mm-hmm.
42. I'm gonna watch.
Man, HD,
Let's be
you
clear.
hit it right on the head, man. That's what I was gonna say. As they're growing and they're going into these new Netflix eras and everything else, you're gonna have people who's like, "Damn, I missed 41 other episodes." Like, damn, man, I don't even know if I can catch up. Versus like, hey, this is WrestleMania Vegas. Remember that one? like, even if it doesn't
Okay.
have a number on it, I think that's
I'm
cool.
also surprised they didn't go to
And
the takeover run and call this one WrestleMania Vegas 2.
Mm.
yeah,
Like,
that'd
for
be
example,
cool.
for example, like they did it with
Instead of
Brooklyn
42,
Takeover,
yeah, instead of 42 Vegas 2, yeah, it'd have been cold.
I think we've reached a point
or Vegas,
culturally,
the
like,
one back or whatever. Somebody give it a clever name.
Yeah. Maybe we need to make a
like
shirt like that. Send it to him. Tell him
I
to
just
pass it
I think
on.
we're at a point culturally we don't need the number for it to be a big deal. Like us wrestling fans will know like this is 43 and all that, but like just knowing that you're in WrestleMania season, like it's a big enough thing. Like the average person's like, oh, I've heard of WrestleMania. Like I know what that's a big deal. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't watch wrestling, like you that's something you know of as like an American or I guess the whole world. Like WrestleMania is a known thing.
Yeah. I'm about to make a graphic for it. Don't worry. I'm gonna send it into the WWE. Don't worry
But
about it.
this
I'll
is kind
handle it.
of Vince thing to where he doesn't want like what Vince back then was why he stopped numbering it was he didn't want Maynard to feel old.
But feel old
Mm.
with them old ass Roman numerals, nigga. Feel old as hell.
But think
I
about
mean,
it.
but
You
if
got
it's
Super Bowl
supposed to be
putting
the
out every
Super
number.
Bowl, right?
Yeah, but if they've become like their own thing away from the Super Bowl now, you know what I'm saying? Like they're in their own sense, they're like y'all are bigger, just as
Or
big as Super Bowl. I mean,
even in
to be
Japan.
honest, wait a minute, you're bigger than the Super Bowl. Super Bowl's one day, nigga. Y'all too. So y'all
Okay,
technically are bigger than the Super Bowl. So my
I
thing is
mean,
this.
in that sense, yeah, they still won't get the viewership that the Super Bowl does.
I mean, obviously because but they growing though. They getting there. And once it
Oh
goes
no, it's
worldwide, once they start going over there having WrestleManias across seas, that's when it's gonna be on that level. You know what I'm saying? And they working their way to that. They way to that. They working their way to that. But I mean,
That's some
I'm older.
really
I ain't gonna.
interesting points y'all making there on this graphic, this logo, the marketing behind it. Cause like you said, streets, it do feel kind of old when you put in
Yeah.
42, 43. Maybe you might want to throw a number on the milestones like WrestleMania 50. Like, oh,
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like, but
okay, yeah.
I'm saying,
Maybe
but
got
yeah,
like
like
37,
40 was great,
37.
like
Like,
XL, like 40 was
yeah.
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
That was
XL
yeah, that was
40. Yeah,
that was cold. You know what I mean?
And honestly, to date, like I think it's still probably one of the best WrestleManias ever. 40 was fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it was
hard to
bomb, man.
argue that, like, between that. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of great moments in WrestleMania histories, but for me in my adult life, I think like that and the Seth Rollins heist at WrestleMania,
Yeah, that
Yep.
was
those,
crazy.
yeah, those, yeah, yeah.
But so real quick, so I know not to piggyback, but what's funny is so we were just talking about Brock beating the streak. You know what the main event of that mania was? Daniel Bryan
It
beating
was,
Evolution for the belts.
Yesamania.
Yes,
Yeah.
That was
but
the,
that
so that
everyone
was
was
in.
yeah, that was
but,
the
Yes,
big
so many. I
takeover.
remember that.
but everyone remembers the streak being broken as opposed to Daniel Bryan beating Batista and Randy Orton.
Okay, so remember,
Each-
this is what I
And
said a
Triple
few.
H in the same night.
I said this a few episodes ago though. We don't have nothing like the streak for somebody at WrestleMania no more.
because again,
So no.
we were all fans because we fell in love with the moments. Yes, it was a moment, but again, there's not
Yes.
many. Each moment has its own respect in the hierarchy. But again, this was the streak being ended.
Yeah.
So again, the one and the 21-1.
But I felt like,
Brock was already a
obviously,
big name, but the fact that he was the one, that put him on this whole other stratosphere.
Technically,
we're not counting Giant Gonzalez.
Oh no, he lost to the Undertaker, so he's not undefeated. There are some people that are technically undefeated at WrestleMania still. Like Bianca Belair is a 4-0.
She technically lost this past Mania.
Hang on. This article was a year ago. Hang on. Yeah, you're right. I guess Rob Van Dam is 4-0.
RVD, baby.
Congrats to him and his wife. They just announced they're having a baby. I think yesterday they announced it.
Congrats to him and Miss Katie Forbes.
Rob Van Dam is still undefeated. Michael Cole's technically still undefeated.
So is Pat McAfee in sanctioned matches.
Some of these will never.
See, like it's hard to go straight direction now. Like that's something that got to be built. But if I'm looking back at the WrestleManias when Vince was in control, like okay, they bring in Mike Tyson, had a build up where he was aligned with Shawn Michaels and DX, and then he turned on Shawn, snuffed him, get out of here. He now with Austin.
Him with a punch. Yep.
Yeah,
that
like
fast count.
Yeah, bro. Like there was a few things that Vince would do to try to switch up like the moments, like you were saying, Razor, like create moments out there.
Making it to where,
Whether
that's
McMahon's undefeated at WrestleMania.
Say it again.
Shane McMahon's undefeated.
Yeah.
And the last time we saw him, it was at WrestleMania where he blew out his quads like his old man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of why I'm mad how they handled Gunther. They had a chance to make Gunther like a Brock Lesnar, like the final, like, all right, 80% of the time on the roster, he's champion. You know what I mean?
Has he ever won at Mania?
I think he's totally defeated at Mania. Well, he retained that in that triple threat against Sheamus and Edge.
Okay, so he's 1-2.
Yeah. Was it Sheamus and Edge? No, Sheamus and McIntyre.
Yeah, it was Sheamus and Drew, because that was the big banger.
Yeah, that's when, dude, give Sheamus the Intercontinental title already. Come on, let that guy finish his.
The fact that he's not a Grand Slam champion is bananas.
Sheamus, yeah. If you told me, like, if you told Baron von Stroud, like in 2011-10 when Sheamus debuted, that I would end up being a fan of his, I'd be like, you're a liar. Like that, I did not like him, but he has definitely grown on me over
You're
the
a liar.
years.
You're a liar.
You're a liar. Liar.
So now we've seen Becky already win the Women's IC Championship. What happens first? Does she win the U.S. champion, become a Grand Slam champion, or does Sheamus win the IC Championship for the men's?
I mean, based on current history, I'd say Becky winning first is the most likely.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That brings us to our other fatal four-way of the night.
What I enjoyed about this was the segment right before this match started between Bliss and Flair.
Backstage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then cutting her off in the middle of her thing where she just stood there awkwardly. That was great.
Because folks forget, you have the Queen versus the Goddess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see where their little story goes. Like if there's eventually gonna be an alliance between them, or one of them like Charlotte eventually gets so annoyed she tries to beat the shit out of Alexa. Like, you know, I'm interested to see where they go. I feel like they're gonna create that alliance. Yeah.
So, and here's the crazy thing is, like, we can sit here and talk about it and like what we expect at, like, oh, it'll probably be Cody and then he can go against Cena at SummerSlam. There's a very good chance that just doesn't happen. Like the way Twitch is booking lately, like being completely unpredictable.
We can go back to it, yeah. Talk about it.
It's completely like I would have said Cargill was the for sure choice, but I don't know. Asuka there's an argument for her winning, like, you know, since her last, you know, run kind of got cut short with the injury. Vikur is amazing.
Roxanne, she getting the rocket on her.
Yep.
I've been doing some stuff, but I don't think they can hold a count on Jade. think the Jade's been
Now,
online and she's waiting her turn and she's
I mean,
had they never announced the brackets, I would have bet money that the finals the one would have been Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill.
yeah,
I
that'd
would
have
have
been
bet money
fire.
on that for that being the
That'd have been
finals.
fire. Yeah, for sure.
let's see. Vakura's. Hey, can't tell me that if Vakura pulls it out, we go to SummerSlam with Vakura versus Io Sky. That's a banger.
That's definitely gonna be. It's gonna be a great match. I think a lot of folks are probably gonna sleep on it, and I don't know why, but that could be a thing. But still,
The
that
way
match is
this
gonna
match
be
is looking,
incredible.
maybe Naomi. Maybe we get to Cargill versus Vakura for the finals, and Naomi costs Jade.
See
I'm
that?
trying to get a graphic up for here, fellas. Pardon me.
No,
Chat,
You
I'm
all good?
sorry.
See, again, I love Jade and what she's been doing in her progression. It's just I feel with her particular style, it's very situational, and I don't think everyone is equipped to deal with her set style. Now that's no one's fault. It's just one of those things where at this moment in time may not be quote unquote best for business.
I mean, in terms of the but the one you just had up, like the men's,
Okay, I'll go back to that one for you.
it's a. I don't know, like the fact that
I'm more I'm more disappointed in the men's bracket because in typical fashion they make things blatantly obvious without a care in the world.
and see,
Bro,
I don't know if it is
Jacob
blatantly obvious
Fatu should
here
be in this
because
tournament. I'm sorry, man. Jacob Fatu should be in this tournament.
Braun and Penta should be a round two matchup. Just off of that four way alone, that should have been the round two right there. We can make a case for Andrade. We can make a case for maybe even an Ellen or Mello.
I don't know. Did anybody ever expect Andrade to be in the SummerSlam main event though? That one's kind or Nakamura. They're great. Don't get me wrong. I love both of
That's the
them.
problem
Nah,
because they never use them. That's the problem.
not over
You
Cody
put the
Rhodes
teams
though.
on and we just see them just for not even a cup of coffee every
This
couple
will come
months.
off as like corporate kiss assiness probably to some people, and you want to comment about it? Comment on there, and I'll argue with you too. Because hell, why not? I love to argue with people. There it
So do
is. If you don't get over with the fans, yes, a big chunk of it is what creative gives you, but you have every opportunity to bug and harass them and do something when you're out there to get yourself over with the fans. Like look at Karrion Cross. He's not getting there's nothing coming from WWE for
Why
him.
is he not in this tournament?
That's a phenomenal question. Like why he's not, like he's one of the most over guys on the roster, but they're still sleeping on him. And
Or another one. So imagine if round two would have been these four individuals right here. You could have like put in Cross. You still could have had Randy. You could have thrown in Dom and maybe Sheamus. Imagine those were the round two folks, the final four.
And I'll yeet with them all day, but why was Jay put in this and not Cross? I love Jay. I think Cross would have been better.
You have, like I said, Braun or Penta in places as Sammy.
Oh, I see that when you say like clear cut right now, this is this is not clear cut to me.
It's far from.
Yeah, Codes. I can see Rhodes getting it and going against Cena. That makes sense. Orton getting it and going against Cena. That makes sense. Sammy winning it and
champion
would be a huge thing.
Priest is a former champion.
Gunther. Oh well, he would win this and maybe become champion. SummerSlam.
I'm sure he's out on vacation, but again, you could have easily swapped Drew McIntyre for Cody Rhodes. That would have been just fine.
Well, Drew's, I think he's got a few things where he's not like
right. Right, but again, if he were healthy, that'd have been the easy swap out right there.
Yeah.
A lot that could have done differently with the men's.
All four. I don't think it'll be Jay. I don't think they will do Gunther versus Jay part 8,000.
Now, again, I wouldn't be mad at that, but you got to be careful about as to how you set that one up. You got to be very, very careful with how you set that up because, again, yes, essentially Gunther does own the win-loss record over Jay, but still, it's like if you want that to be remotely palatable, this could have been a chance to set that one up, they still could get there, but it's one of those you really gonna have Jay beat three other monsters and have him beat the poster boy? I don't see that, unfortunately. Nothing is Jay. It's just the way WWE's been thinking lately. That's so far behind the back burner. It's not even funny.
I'm sorry, guys. I had to step away and grab
I ain't
something.
gonna
to
lie.
drink,
If you want to
Yeah.
make another splash, you good streets. If you want to make another splash right here, I would say you make or you let Rusev or Sheamus win that next qualifying match for Raw. If you want to shake things up,
But
Or Sheamus,
Jay
because
is
again,
the only one I think there that like remotely has a chance, like looks legitimate enough to beat Cody. I don't think the Sheamus. Don't get me wrong. I think he's fantastic and like based on skill and like he, it would make sense if he won. But like, are they really going to put Sheamus over on Cody? Like
right?
that's a Jay's the only one where I'd be like, yeah, I'm not surprised that Cody took an L for Jay.
What if, guys? What if Jay wins, and then we see him turn bad like Cena did, and become part of the Rock's plan and go off to win?
Like if he wins dirty on Rhodes.
Yeah.
No, he's selling too much stuff right. He's too.
yeah, I mean, if the stuff was on the back
I
burner,
don't think
it's
that's
that'd be
happening.
more feasible. But yeah, but because he's had this meteoric rise that's only getting bigger. But again, they've done crazier things. I'm not surprised that none of us are giving Ross Reed any little love because he's got two folks in his corner that can help him out because these matches are going to be no DQ, I would assume.
True.
At least so far, it's going to be no DQ.
True.
But you see, what
Well,
I envision
a
here
fatal
is
four
LA
way
Knight, maybe.
by the official rules is a no DQ. Like we saw Braun and Bronson get involved in the last one.
Right.
In the words of James E. Cornette, lazy booking.
I love
So
Joe
it's like I
Cornette
could
so
see
much.
LA Knight returning Bronson the favor there.
Yeah, what are we doing with that? Like,
Mm.
what the fuck's that all about?
And like I don't know. I don't know what that one. That's. I mean, I'm glad he's got some kind of program and he's not just floating in the wind. But
But do people honestly care about LA Knight versus Seth Rollins?
Bro, it feels weird. Like it feels like why? Like at right now, why?
Mm-hmm. Factual.
At any phase in life, that's one of those. Like, why is this even an idea?
LA
You're
Knight's
literally
always a
setting
good
LA Knight for
promo.
failure.
I think they'll have good back and forth promos, but right now in the game,
Seth
nah, it's
makes a
like
fool with him on the mic. Seth will destroy him on the mic. That's not counting Heyman.
yeah, I
That's
mean
not even that's not even a fair fight.
he got to do to him what LA Knight be doing to others. Cause LA Knight be cooking a lot of people. There's not too many people that be cooking them.
I'm gonna say this right now. Dom would probably cook LA Knight on the mic. LA Knight got lucky this past week because he had some good material in Rhodes, Cena, and Orton. Or Punk.
I don't understand why Dom doesn't have a big. I mean, he's getting a huge push, and then like he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. He needs to have like
He's a
multiple
total
world title reigns. Dom is amazing. Like he is, and once if you told me 3 years ago, I would be singing Dominic Mysterio's praises. I'd just slap you for being stupid. Dom is amazing right now. He is so good at what he's doing.
He really is.
And he's the women's world title, basically. The belts mean nothing. Like Dom is like if you
He
got
is.
Dom, you're the top woman.
And now you potentially have a third woman fighting over him now in Roxanne
Yeah,
Perez.
what
Imagine
the?
that.
His wife is
And
gorgeous.
he is looking down, just smiling from cheek to cheek.
Yeah, Papa Eddie's just like that's my boy. Um, his actual
That's
wife is gorgeous. Rhea Ripley is. I don't have words. Liv Morgan is. I don't have words that are appropriate.
Hmm.
And then Roxanne Perez is like it's the luckiest dude on earth. Like he is living the dream.
on top of
He
his
is.
misses.
Like
Yeah.
and he's the by the way, he's the Intercontinental Champion, as if none of the
A
not to
former
mention.
two-time North American champion.
Did he win it twice?
Yeah, he won it twice.
Hall of Fame resume already. Hall of Fame.
And again, 20 years ago, you had two respective GOATs fighting for custody of him in that infamous ladder match. This man's been in the game for a minute, 20 years strong. Where folks are in the time of their careers, he's not even in first gear yet. They're just warming up.
And you know what sucks? His deadbeat dad gave him he made $5,000 off that appearance. They gave him a couple $100 to go to Toys R Us, and then the rest went to his sister's college fund. What a deadbeat is Rey Mysterio! Like, come on.
For all we know, his father could be up in the heavens right now. Nothing has yet to be confirmed. We got to ask Angie about that one.
Man,
She's just done with this right now. I can sense it.
I mean, I knew he was. When I found out he bought him a BMW rather than a Mercedes, I knew Rey was like just bad news. That was just bad.
Stupid.
Rey's terrible.
I mean,
go ahead.
I would say that Mr. Debbie, he is a former filthy animal. So again, do with that information what you may.
Screaming. Nah,
but all in all, I honestly think Sammy wins in Saudi. I think Sammy will be king of the ring and go against Gunther at SummerSlam.
Man, that's terrible.
Yeah.
He finally gets that big win. He gets the second biggest pay-per-view to get that win. It's not a Mania win, but still, it's a big deal.
It'll be for the heavyweight championship if he beat Gunther too. Like,
I think it'll be Sammy. That's my prediction. I've been wrong once or twice.
Whoever wins between Sammy and Randy is going to win the whole tournament, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got Cody because I feel like he the company guy. Yeah. I'm gonna say the obvious shit. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say the obvious shit. I got Cody. He the company guy.
I'm gonna say the factor that nobody sees. I'm gonna say maybe it's Evil J.
If Cody loses in the second round, whether it's a clean finish or not, I'm gonna be laughing at the bank.
Yeah, that'll be a surprise. Especially if it's clean, there's no interference or nothing. What I do say though, to end my take on a positive note for them, I enjoyed this format more than I thought I was. I'm still iffy about not it being one side Raw and one side being SmackDown.
Yeah,
that part
the zigzagging is the only bad thing here. That's the only bad thing.
But the fatal 4-way to start, the second round is a one-on-one match, and the finals match is a one-on-one match. I like that.
They've gotten lucky with this.
Yeah,
I'll give them that. Now, again, as far as the women's side, I'm thoroughly pleased by how the women's bracket has panned out because, again, it's been surprised all over the place. Me personally, again, my initial guess would have been Nia and Jade in the finals. I am heartbroken that the greatest women's U.S. champion of all time was not in the tournament, Miss Chelsea Green.
Man,
that broke my heart tonight.
Yeah, man. I thought she was gonna be there, man. That was kind of wild.
That's what I told Street. Like, I was like, man, I would have really liked to see Chelsea Green tonight. That would have been awesome. But
yeah, but I ain't gonna lie, I was mad to see Jade Cargill. Ooh wee. Give it up for JC. She was out there going crazy.
I mean, the way they featured Chelsea Green tonight via the FaceTime, I thought it was creative. Even though that people want to see her in person and stuff, but like just watch it from home, I thought it was clever, cool. I'm not sure why they did the pivot, why they did the audible. Maybe it's an injury, maybe I don't know, whatever the case is, but they did it.
She still has that nose injury.
She did. Yeah, that's right. She got busted open, or like it may have broken her nose.
It got rebroken.
That makes sense now why she wasn't there. I forgot about that.
Yep.
I honestly thought, like, as much as I would have hated it, it was gonna be Flair. But like that just shows like anything can happen right now. It's 100% like up in the air.
Facts.
The
but
only
But
thing that I can see,
for women, I'm saying Vakur. I'll throw my money down on Vakur.
I think I might
I was
have
gonna
a
say,
switch right here. Yeah, go ahead, Razor.
who are you thinking?
I'm thinking Bliss now.
Oh, Bliss. Yeah, I got Bliss to go all the way now.
Bliss
Yeah,
on
I'm
all the
thinking
way.
Bliss. Yeah, I'm thinking Bliss. At first, I said Jay Cargill like probably an hour ago, but now thinking
You
about
think
it,
Perez is gonna beat Cargill, and then or you think that?
no, 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 no. I think when it gets to the finals, Naomi perhaps interferes and costs Jay the match.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
So
sure, for sure.
maybe at Saudi will be Vakur versus Perez, or like, so do you think it'll be Perez or Vakur versus Cargill at in Saudi?
I, I got Bliss and Perez.
I'm gonna be honest, that move might not be popular out there. I don't see Stephanie Vaquer doing like the
Nah,
Devil's Kiss out there. They going
yeah,
outrage, bro. They might
yeah.
riot. You heard she do that move out there.
Facts,
It might,
Honestly,
it might be
That's a fair
over.
point.
I don't know.
with the Fatal Four of Oscar, Vicor, Ivy, and Raquel, I can see either one of them advancing. To be honest, I don't know why, but this is one of the matches where I can see either one of them matching up, and then either one, preferably, I think Oscar and Bliss might be the better match because again they got history together. But I wouldn't be mad at whoever wins that match. But I do agree with you actually the fact that again because of the Devil's Kiss stuff, that may not resonate as well.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that would. Honestly, it could be an even split. Like I'd like to see Vakur get it, but maybe it's if Raquel pulls out a win, and then it makes it like easier, for her to take an L to Bliss.
Or
You don't
also,
have.
let's go down the rabbit hole. Say Raquel wins, this could plausibly fuel that story between Perez and Raquel within the Judgment Day because who's on whose side?
Yeah,
Because yes, Liv kind of lost her match. Yes, that's still her tag team partner, but still, it's like it's ironic that Raquel isn't as angry whenever Miss Roxanne pulls up, and that could be a ploy by Finn Balor as well to tear them apart.
could be. If he can't have gold, why should somebody else in the Judgment Day? Maybe he's trying to drive that rift so they lose the tag titles or something. The
Exactly.
Asuka thing sucks because they shouldn't have announced her for sure. That would have been an awesome surprise.
What if she wins?
I could see that as well.
Asuka versus Bliss would be fun.
That
Because
would
again,
be
those
fun,
two
right?
they got history
Oh,
together for the
girlfriend.
women's
Yep.
title.
I'm gonna say, what if she?
The Empress and the Goddess.
Man, that'd be fire. What if somehow it ends up being her versus Io Sky?
Oh, Asuka versus Sky?
Yeah.
That would be a fire match too.
A fun match.
Looking at it like what using HD's logic, maybe Cargill versus Asuka at the end, and Naomi comes in, costs Jay the match, Asuka wins, Asuka versus Io Sky.
Could be.
Because I honestly, yeah, because that would make now Naomi and Jay. That's already a big match, but that will kind of elevate the stakes for say a SummerSlam. Remember, SummerSlam is gonna be 2 nights. That's at
Yeah, because at
least
this point,
10,
then you
12
don't need
matches
a
to go.
title. You have a match with all that personal beef. You don't need a title on Naomi versus Jade for that to be a big match.
And it's also a blood feud.
Yep. And maybe we see Bianca come and finally choose a side there. And then you got
Exactly.
her and Naomi do a heel run. That would be great.
I think we just cracked the code for the next, SummerSlam. I think was gonna happen.
The
Triple H
only way I see Bliss,
We just gave him the
what?
alley-oop.
We just gave him the alley. We just gave him the format right there.
Triple H is watching this right now, taking notes.
Yeah. Paul, we talked about this
Bliss
yesterday.
wins it, I think it ties into the Wyatt Six. Like maybe in the end, like it's her
with
versus
Bliss, at what point do you include her in the Wyatt Six story? Because it seems like with Wyatt Six, they're being presented a little bit more seriously this go around.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. What about? I think I'm going too deep in booking. So what if Bliss attempts to like say Raquel wins it and it becomes Raquel and Bliss? What if you set up the Judgment Day attempts to interfere for Raquel, but then when like, oh shit, Bliss is screwed, Uncle Howdy and the
Nikki
crew
Cross.
show up, we get Judgment Day versus the Wyatt Six.
I wouldn't be opposed to that,
yeah.
but
Maybe I'm going too deep there. I don't know, but that I feel like that's a way to set it up. Now that they're on opposite shows, you could set that up for SummerSlam that way.
because even then aside from Y6 stuff, Bliss and Cross have history together too, or am I mistaken?
I don't.
Were they partners when Bliss or when Nick Cross was doing her almost a superhero?
Oh, Nikki Cross. I thought you meant Karrion Cross. Yeah. No, they were a tag team then as well. Bliss was teamed up with her for a little bit back then too.
We had Nikki ASH.
Yep.
Where she was
I forgot that was her last name.
Yeah. Or where she was cosplaying as Rosie's superhero in training, the SHIT.
Yep. It was so stupid. But it was good.
Yeah.
That was like good times, you know?
It was.
That was the last 24/7 champion. And right now it's just so hard to book. Like Triple H could do anything. Like he could take it any direction he wants to.
He really could.
But that's a good and a bad thing though, because I feel like
I fuck with Triple H's career. He's legendary, but right now I see nothing but safe. Like
just to make the internet happy.
This ain't the same
bro.
DX Triple H that we used to be,
Yeah, bro. Like
in the spotlight. This is a whole different Triple H. I definitely feel you on that. He's Paul Levesque. He's nowhere near what Triple H would have been. You know what I'm saying? This is corporate Paul. So.
And then to find out that TKO is in debt is a little bizarre to me. That like,
well, that could have been the reason for the merger with UFC, because UFC came in with debt because no one's paying to go to the pay-per-views
most
anymore.
of their debt is from the UFC deal. Like that is part of it. But
that's
also that's not uncommon.
So with that being said, now that they're under TKO, they got to position themselves to really appease the sponsors, and not for them, but for TKO.
Or folks are looking at it like, again, yes, UFC is doing this. Saudi's going, okay, how much is it going to cost us to get you out of this contract? Because Saudi could say, we can click up on Netflix, get you guys exclusively. That way you ain't got to worry about their debts and their bills.
Right.
Well, here's I don't think in the corporate level, like for big companies like that, having debt is necessarily abnormal. In my honest opinion, I might be a little jaded against that market. I think somebody found that out on our port, and some AEW fan tried to make a big deal about it, and the internet ran with it. I don't think it's a bad thing or an abnormal thing. Like someone's trying to make it look like they're in trouble. They're clearly not in trouble. Their cash flow is huge right now. But like
that some of it is just fine.
What I'm concerned about is they continue to get this cash flow to now funnel UFC, which is something they never had to do before.
Oh no, their cash flow, like UFC's cash flow, dwarfs WWE's. Like they are making way more money from UFC events than they do WWE events.
Because you could bet on them, and
not just that. It's look at the capacity. So like my buddy I had that works like in marketing for Yum and stuff. I was talking to him about that, like the UFC deal, and he said no, that was like I asked him about the gate. And he said the UFC stuff dwarfed everything they do with WWE, because like a section, like the same spot in the arena, a WWE seat that is like maybe a couple $100 is like a $6,000 UFC seat. Like it
Mm-hmm.
dwarfs it in comparison.
That's crazy.
And they
Yeah, it's
sell
like
the
boxing
UFC events out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about, a ringside seat at WrestleMania maybe $25,000, but like a big cage side seat, well, like right there behind Joe Rogan and them at that may be a 50,000. They're making infinitely more money.
You mean the scene there in between Donald Trump and Kid Rock?
Yeah, if you're sitting in that row of seats, you've paid probably anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 to be there. That's insane. That's crazy.
Can you imagine?
Because I got a question.
Because they don't have a ramp
to be
and
sitting
a
in
stage.
seats like that.
They're getting like I think he said when they had it at Yum, because they didn't have, all they had was the octagon and one single walkway. They didn't have the ramp, the stage. There wasn't anything curtaining it off really because it was all so small. They were filled. I think he said it was an extra like almost 10,000 or a little less than 10,000 more tickets they can sell at higher prices. So like they make way now merch wise. WWE dwarfs the UFC. You don't see as many, like you see Austin 316 shirts out there, but do you really see how many John Jones t-shirts do you see walking around?
Do they do any merch?
Exactly. Like you can buy, there's merch you can buy, but it's not comparable
It's
to
not
what
the
WWE
same.
puts out.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking yesterday. So if let's say there was 10,000 people at Rep Arena last night, if half of them, let's say that's 5,000 people, bought the John Cena, not that I was wearing it earlier, somebody else clearly was. So if you bought this John Cena shirt at Lexington, if they sold 5,000 of these,
somebody else.
Yeah.
yeah, right. That's what is that? 20? Is it $20,000 or $200,000 right there?
Sold out.
$20,000.
Sold out.
Yeah,
That's like
they're
them
selling
Jay
hand over
Uso
fist.
shirts. When they came here, they had a Jay Uso shirt that was like the logo of, I think it was the Knicks. And bro, I couldn't even get to the stand to get one. They were already out. I was like, damn, bro, like
That's
that-
crazy.
So with your analogy, given the alleged attendance that was there, which again I'm not down that, given plus the price of what they were selling, that's $500,000 right there, just
all
that
right,
shirt
so
alone.
all right, so
How much?
let's
How
say
much
the
was it
money
$500,000 in total.
for the Cena shirt?
Yeah, so say assuming everyone in attendance bought that shirt.
I would say it's. I would not be surprised.
Nah,
to
I
say
ain't gonna
at
lie.
least 50% of the people bought.
Yeah,
the
bro. It
Lexington
was
shirt.
hella people there, bro, buying them
And they
shits.
were wearing it too. Like
Hella.
they went and changed
Hella,
them
So
shirts.
bro.
you're looking at least $250,000 right there.
And that's just merch.
And time
That's
out. When
not
we
the
walked
ticket
out,
gate. That's not.
hey, listen to me. When we walked out, I got the last beanie, bro. There was racks of clothes, bro. All we came out bare, bro. They was buying everything.
These masters
bro.
are selling a black T-shirt with white letters that just says "Last Real Champion" 17 times. It didn't have his picture. It didn't have a C Nation logo. It was just a black T-shirt with white letters. And, and this is what pisses me off. Because it said on the, and technically the number was wrong. It should have said 16, but it said like it was either appearances or like stops left 19.
Like,
yeah,
I wanted the shirt because like I know that one next time will be different and it's gonna change every. It made me want it, and that's their whole goal, and it worked, and it pissed me off. Like,
so let's say
they know
with
what they're
all
doing.
this, y'all saying that even with the reports out this gap, let's say that money's not an issue for WWE. I continue to question that why the hell for 2 years straight is Triple H playing it safe, to where I see reports that he doesn't like when the fans hijack and he got to do things for the fans, but he continues to do so. Now, whether that report is true or not, I still pay attention to the fact that sometimes I think the wrestling fans, their opinions change. Like we change our drawers every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So if you go and listen to the folks that's changing their mind every day, I don't think that's going to translate to a good product for me. Like I like when y'all sit down and y'all like, yo, for this 4 months, we gonna focus on bull, and this is where that story's gonna take. Like how Vince used to have, and even if Vince didn't have it mapped out, but he knew this is who I want as champion. This is my guy.
You
This
know
is
what
who
I
I
wish they
want to
didn't
scout.
abandon?
What's happening?
So they did this last year. They have yet to do it this year. Actually, I don't know if you recall, like last year, every time it was a sellout, whether it's a Raw, SmackDown, or PLE, Cole, whoever like the lead guys were on color, they're just blurting that out. This is the number blah 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 sale we have for the year. This is the consecutive sale we have for the year. They're not talking about that anymore. They may bring it up maybe once on a show every else off,
Yeah, they're
but
not.
they're not hiding anymore because again they're not really selling out, and they're not going to call it selling because they have to give out so many tickets or just draw the price like that day of or hours before the show. For example, Mania, like in Vegas at the last minute, like hours for the show, they had tickets as low as $30 allegedly. For yeah, it was nosy, but still, it's like again, this is WrestleMania. There's no reason why stuff should be that low when you're charging the price of a brand new car for a front row seat or within the first 5 rows. And like I said, the fact that like even last year they had graphics ready made of this is sellout number, blah blah blah. We've had X amount of consecutive sellouts. We're not seeing that anymore. I don't know if they don't care or if it's not a true sellout.
I mean, that's a question too. Was it ever a sellout? Like that's the thing we don't. They've lied about numbers for years. AEW does it. WWE does it.
But if you look at like last year, for example, when they did advertise that it was a sellout, you can clearly see that it was like 99.99%. That could because of also like they were advertising that they're cutting back on production to add more seats and people still buying the seats. We're not hearing those same top subjects anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. That's what I've noticed these last few months, at least since like Rumble this year. Like where things have changed. Why is stuff being projected as this as opposed to this now? When this was skyrocketing you to the box office, this is just, we already got the bag. This is just,
You
any
want to know
extra
what's
So
investment
crazy,
bonus
bro?
playing it
for
safe,
us.
like what H was saying, playing it
Magic
safe.
Johnson. Magic
Yeah,
Johnson was on ESPN, right?
yeah.
This was yesterday, and Stephen A. Smith said, "What is a superstar to you?" You know what Magic Johnson said? When a
What's that?
person is on the road game, and the fans say, "I want to see him play," and I know that feeling because as a person that live in New York, I always wanted to see LeBron come through and play. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh
I always
God,
wanted
like
to see the
yeah,
But,
top
like
but
players
again,
come
facts,
through and
bro.
play. Like
Facts,
that's a
bro.
superstar,
perfect
bro.
example
Yeah,
for
that's
that.
the truth, bro. That's the
That's
truth,
a
bro.
draw.
Cause I ain't gonna
Perfect
lie.
example for that. What did we get in the first 20 minutes yesterday? Cena, Punk, Randy, off Cody, off the rip.
So
I
like
ain't gonna
that,
lie,
and that's
bro.
the thing. This is where like when I have the diehard like non WWE guys who want to like talk about how much better AEW is, and like how Will Ospreay is God's gift to wrestling and stuff like that. And I find that to be bullshit. Look at their dwindling sale. He's not a draw. He might be good. He's not a draw.
I
He's
saw
not
something
like
about that recently.
Dominic Mysterio is drawing more people than Will Ospreay
Right,
is.
like he's talented. I don't know, not one of my friends that's saying, "Yo, we gotta go see AEW the next time they in whatever arena they was in Queens." Nah, none of my friends are saying that, bro.
Dude, at
If
the
it's
Yum Center,
WWE
I think
though,
they put
Yeah, they
Yum
put
Center
on.
sold out 3 weeks ago. At Streets was there. All the for sale ticket they opened some other sections for will call at the end, but everything was pretty much a sellout. AEW they sold like 4,000 tickets for that Louisville show. It was so empty in that building. If I hadn't got in for free, I wouldn't have went. And
my
I
best
was
bet
kind
is
of like,
about
I
AEW
mean, I
though.
guess I'll go for
They
free.
should be running intimate settings, or they should go back to Daly's place. They should run more of a studio setup similar to WCW back in the day,
Or
or even
what
recently.
the NWA does now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
But this
and
was
like
also about Osprey and the merch stuff. So his soccer jersey that says Brahman or whatever, it's on the markets, blah blah blah. They just started selling Bandito masks. Those are already on back order. Versus a
That's
shirt that's been
crazy.
out for 6 months.
that's the
Hold
thing
on,
when people
they
say
sold more merchandise than that damn shirt.
WWE, like I just don't. WWE is a draw. Like I said,
Yeah.
the same
Not
shirt
if
It's
that
a
Mysterio
vibe.
can grab a
that
microphone and do
every
this. You got 100 other people booing him out of the city.
yeah, it's WWE. They are legitimate draws, and nobody in AEW is a draw right now. I do not see. There's nobody lining up to see John Moxley. There's nobody lining up. They had it.
They,
Tony Khan
they,
let him go when Punk left. He had the biggest draw in pro wrestling, arguably, and Tony screwed it up.
there's promise with Tony Storm and there's promise with the Hurt Business. That's probably about it.
There,
You ruined everybody else.
Tony Storm's great. I love her, but even as great as she is, she may be the biggest draw that they have, but it's not.
That's what I have.
Do you think she's a bigger draw than Becky Lynch?
Nah.
Becky, no, I can make a case for maybe a Bailey. But then again, that's apples and oranges.
Like, I mean, they're putting all that money and stuff behind Sasha. Is Sasha really a draw like that? Without the other people to feed off of, like Charlotte or Becky or Bailey?
Or Asuka. Or Naomi. Or Bliss. I can go on.
With the exception of Tony Storm, because I do like her, there's very few people in WWE I would say, yes, Tony Storm is a bigger draw than that person. Like, but
Good
not bigger
example.
than Becky.
WWE just picked up Mariah May.
Yeah. And she'll blow up, I'm sure.
Had one match with Sasha Banks at a pay-per-view and said, that'll work for me, brother. I'm going over here.
I mean, Stephanie Vaquero, you know what I'm saying? Did the same.
Yeah. I mean, right now, like, I'd say she's a bigger draw than anyone, with the exception of maybe Tony in AEW. She's the bigger female draw than Rhea Ripley is obviously the cream of the crop right now. Like, before yesterday, Rhea Ripley had been the biggest pop I'd ever heard, and that like surprised me, honestly. But Rhea Ripley, they blew Yum Center's roof off for her. She's untouchable right now in terms of draw. But none of the men in AEW can top Rhea Ripley's draw power. Not a single man on that roster can top her in terms of draw.
I used to believe Swerve had that. Then when I saw them live, they'll chant the Who's House, Swerve's House, and that's about it. And then even at times at live, they're seeing they're doing almost like a chore. Which is
and I mean, they have charisma. A lot of the AEW dudes have charisma, but they're not like, you go ask some like random person, like, hey, here's a free John Moxley ticket, or hey, here's a free John Cena ticket. You can ask a million people. They're not taking the John Moxley ticket. Not a single one's taking that. Like, hey, here's Will. Here, you can go see Will Ospreay or R-Truth. They're taking the R-Truth one. Like, it's like that. People argue that all the time. Like, they got Will Ospreay. That's the best wrestling on the planet. I was like,
okay, what are they done with them?
What are you doing?
What they don't. You post tap in New Japan's roster. What have you done with them?
I don't know, man. It's like, I want them to do good. I want there to be
Okada, Omega, Ospreay, the Bucks. Takeshita was a DDT guy, but New Japan wants him there full time. Kyle Fletcher, you post him there with his tag department when they were still like up and coming. You broke up that partnership. Yes, there is promise in Fletcher, but it's like that seems like that may plateau soon.
WWE
handed you Moxley, Jericho, Lashley, Cesaro. You done fuck all with them. You had the Golden Goose and CM Punk. You pissed that away. Yeah,
all because like
talent Jade Cargill, who was discovered by Cody Rhodes, mind you. You pissed that away.
You pissed Cody away. Dude founded the company. Like,
AEW would never been a thing if Cody Rhodes never makes that bet with Dave Meltzer.
Yep. Like, I bet you.
If that never happens,
but you can't.
All In wouldn't be a thing. And even that was funded solely by Ring of Honor. And guess what? You fucked Ring of Honor over too. You bought Ring of Honor just so you could say you own the original All In, which wasn't your thing.
There's not a thing that WWE lately hasn't touched that's not gotten better. When was TNA getting these views that they're getting now? Like
Hey,
TNA is beating AEW, dude.
with me, Baron. It's a tender
Nah,
subject with me.
bro. Let's be honest, bro. TNA been looking for WWE's approval. They finally got it. They up right now.
And TNA is great. Like did it. And like its unpredictability too. Like, I did not expect Trick Williams to pull that win out, and like that was a shocking moment when he did. Like, oh shit, they actually did it. Like,
Let's look at Worlds Collide last week.
we got Mr. Iguana coming to the main roster now. Like, this is crazy times we live in, dude.
And then also WWE re-signed Omos, who had that hot string of Pro Wrestling
I was
Noah.
gonna say I just seen that yesterday. I was showing him in the crowd when we were sitting there. I said, "Look what Razor just sent me, man. Guess who's back, bro?" I just said something like that.
Hopefully they do something with it, and not just let him like here go represent us somewhere else. Like I'd like to see him do something
You
cool.
look at TNA, you look at Pro Wrestling Noah, you look at 3Play, who again 3Play they got a pay-per-view in 24 hours, which is one of their big shows of the year in Monterrey, Mexico, and that's featuring AAA, TNA, and Noah talent and NXT talent.
And WWE, if you count Omos, like is he on the card?
He hasn't been enough, but again, you have NXT folks that are advertised for the show. You have Legado Fantasma, they're advertised for the show. The main event is Alberto Del Rio versus Vikingo.
At the Noah, that's the main event for that card.
For the Monterey show tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
In Mexico.
Oh, it's a AAA thing. Oh, okay. So that's the thing too. Like I was really hoping we get Del Rio back and some of that.
Believe it or not, they actually restructured and re-signed him, so he is technically a WWE wrestler again.
So like,
AAA is they had to say goodbye to
devil's advocate on that. All of them had to sign it. Like every AAA person had to re-sign with WWE. So I don't know if
he was specifically called and they restructured. They got him on. Someone got him on the phone and said, "Hey, we see your deals doing this and this. How about we do this instead? That way we retain you." Because a lot of folks thought that they were going to boot his ass to the curb because of his history. They said, "No. We want you here." Because
the title change, like in advance, I was like, "Oh, that don't look good," but dude's still under contract. So I mean, hopefully he makes his way back to TV. Like I like Del Rio. I thought he was a great character. He had personal issues, obviously, but.
And here's my theory with that. You know who my theory, who could have been Del Rio's saving grace, and a gentleman who's been essentially, he's been a journeyman for the Indies, and that's Mr. John Bradshaw Layfield. I think he could have went to the
He's been talking about this for a couple minutes. Razor been on the JBL kick for a couple days now.
He's been hitting up every Indie, whether it's GCW, Hog, Mexico, Japan, England. He's been all over the world, Canada, and he's said, I'm scouting on their behalf. So I'm thinking maybe he probably saw the Red Mexico times. Here, Triple H said, "Hey, I know he's got this history, but I'm saying I believe he's a changed man. He's better now. He's good now." That's my theory.
Could be that the work thing with that TV studio interview was amazing.
Oh, that was amazing.
That was really good.
Hey, did you see that?
What part?
So recently, to prep the rematch between Vikingo and Del Rio, Vikingo's doing this media stuff whenever to promote the pay-per-view, they're doing that.
It's like Mexico's Good Morning America. It's like their big morning show.
He's thinking they get into a big fight, the crowd's going crazy, the security's going ape shit, they're breaking them up. Then before that, Del Rio whoops on Vikingo's pops.
Oh yeah. I seen that floating around.
Rips his shirt off, kicks him. Security has to drag him out.
I seen that. I was like, that was crazy.
At first, I was like, "Oh shit, dude's like they're gonna release him and dude's crashing out." That's what I thought at first.
That's what I thought too. I was like,
"Oh shit."
Before I leave, I'm gonna whoop this nigga's dad. Like that's crazy, bro.
Like you cost me my job. But no, it looked like it was all like just a work, and like it was a great segment. Like it was a really
good thing. Here's something that what I appreciate about like Latin Americans wrestling, even like in Puerto Rico and the UK, is like, yes, shit could have happened here stateside, but they're looking at with respect of this didn't happen here, therefore You're good here. Just don't do no dumb shit. Yes, he had the situation in TJ where he's essentially banned from performing in that country for a couple years. But aside from that, he's been damn near a model citizen.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately what if you look up his Wikipedia, what he essentially did or was accused of, it's not really a good look. And you
No,
can understand
that's
why. What I find interesting is say they bring him back up to the main roster. They've all Saraya has already said she's going back to WWE. How do you handle that powder keg?
well, assuming she gets cleared, because remember that's the reason she left is their doctors would not clear her because of the neck damage.
She's all but said once her contract is up with AEW with no compete and all, she's going right back to WWE in any capacity.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't think it'll be a physical capacity because like I don't WWE doesn't want that risk. Same reason they wouldn't
I'm
re-sign
saying
Brian.
because
They
of the
don't
history
want the
between
chance.
ADR and Page. I'm thinking just on their history alone, like how do you do prep for damage control for that? Because that was a very toxic relationship, as it ended up being.
Different shows maybe. That way they don't have to necessarily be in the same locker room except for a PLE, but and then just keep them separated, I guess. I mean, if Charlotte and Andrade can not blow up on each other, like last
Fair.
night, they were both their matches followed each other, so like there was probably some kind of pass through. Because yeah, after his match, or when her match ended, he was in the thing getting ready to come out, so they had to pass each other. So I would imagine that it's possible, to keep them apart. And you would think, but I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. I don't know how it all works.
Well, all I will say is, as we wind down for the evening, is there anything that we should expect aside from maybe a Jadis advancement this coming Monday?
I think Jay gets a reset for me, like not like a complete repackage. What I'm saying though is the climb it happens again. You know what I'm saying? The
Do they
chase.
do the obvious and have him and Sammy have a segment before his match
Orton and
to,
Sammy.
to tease that maybe those two will be in the finals?
No, that's my Jay and Sammy. I think
Oh,
so. I think that again, I think that Jay may, if you look back and and they go back into play, if they're gonna loop back around to the storyline that they maybe kind of broke off, is him walking out with, Travis Scott, him and John Cena being the last two people in the Royal Rumble. I think that maybe, what he needs is like, hey, he got it done as a good guy already. He already won the championship. Maybe now it's time to switch it up. Maybe have him do his whole little thing, but being like, maybe more
I'm in favor of
I
that,
love
but
it. I love it.
being darker. And this
But
time the
with
climb being
with
even
some,
bigger. Like this time when I go back to fight Gunther, it's gonna be like, you are nothing to me. I'm gonna whoop you quickly because I'm gonna be on evil Jay. Maybe good Jay was too
let's
good.
go a little
Think
let's go
about
a
how he
little
came
deeper than
out.
that.
He came out in his fit at WrestleMania was a little bit more darker. He wasn't as energetic. He was more calm. I felt like they was kind of leading into it, like you know what I mean, like teasing it. That's my
Let's
opinion.
take it a little deeper. Let me paint the pic. Let me set the table real quick.
Go ahead, big dog.
The only way I feel that you maximize that mileage
Yeah.
is if yes, he's contemplating that, but also you do the old fashioned the angel and the devil scenario. The angel and devil in place would be The Rock, Roman Reigns. You got Rock saying or Roman saying we were the ones we did X, Y, Z, blah blah blah, and then you have Rock chime in illustratively saying he did you dirty. Me, we're
Or
blood.
or
I'll never
or
do you like that.
or this. Hey Jay, Cena has how many days left? I'm gonna need me a champion once he's gone.
The throne is yours right there.
Cody didn't want to sell his soul. You're my blood.
But me, we're family.
We're family. You feel me? Like I need you, Jay, to be my
But
champion.
but the
I
problem with that
need
is
you
there's,
to
there's already a plot,
destroy.
there's already a plot hole in that
Why is that?
because prior to Money in the Bank, John Cena already basically said that the next dude's going to be Logan Paul.
But it was that
So
that
wouldn't
was
happen
very
though.
heavily hinted at in his promo too about how
Yeah.
he specifically wanted to team with Logan so that he was no longer a threat. So
yeah,
I think that's still coming. But I mean, we've only
and,
got
and
how many
again,
dates?
eh, and this is the problem with the X amount of dates left because there's my fear is Cena's going to leave. There's all this meat on the bones, all this money on the table that it's going to be left unanswered. Because, for example, with Cena teasing that, yes, he wants to team Logan because Logan's not a threat, that kind of automatically opens the door for 3 times in a lifetime, which means one more match with The Rock.
Or, or Cena's absolutely correct. He leaves with the belt. They have to make a whole nother one because he leaves with this one.
Which is going to happen. But the issue is you have the dude that sold his soul is endorsing the social media mogul versus instead of not doing that at all, Rock is trying to lure Jay in like I've been foreshadowing the last couple years. You're creating a big loop in this multiverse, whatever. So I mean, what are we going to do? Like ultimately have Logan Paul and Jay Uso team up? They've already been funking.
The limited dates thing is a very problematic thing.
That's the biggest problem of all of this.
The only way I think they could do it is if what sucks too is we're burning. So this week we're burning 2 of them. So we just had 16. We have 15 left. So we'll be down to 13 after this week because Raw and SmackDown he's going to be at both. Maybe we take Cena out with an injury. Maybe somebody shows up. Maybe it's The Rock. Doesn't like what Cena's doing. Something takes him out. But then the last month or 2 of the year, Cena comes back for revenge, and that's his last few appearances. He goes out as a babyface.
I can see that.
That might be their only option.
I could see that. I could see something happening to where,
or it's a big turn we don't expect. Maybe
they were trying to tease the whole him being good, him being like, no, don't try to do that. Like he had a snap out of it. Like no.
And here's kind of why I'm agreeing with Baron because even Punk said in his promo, like, you don't really want to do this. Like, let them celebrate you on your way out. How it should be. You were a GOAT. You did all this. Let us celebrate you on your way out as opposed to hating your guts.
Well, maybe they have, so many days to turn that around. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll get down to, because how many days would it take? You know what I mean? Maybe, you have 3, like you said, have them take a break or something. You have 3 episodes where you kind of turn him, and in the last 10, he's just, a babyface. Or the last 5. It's like, hey, these are the last 5 days to see John Cena. You know what I mean? And just have him be some type of a babyface. Like last night, like Punk said last night, but it's the timing. But again, you have to have him obviously.
Maybe
Voodoo said, "What's up, guys?" I called Wade Barrett's ass on Twitter. He called him R-Truth and Ron Killing Truth. Okay.
Yeah. So apparently they're sticking with the R-Truth thing. They're not going to call him Ron Killings.
Well, no, that was the thing. I was if you all looked at the merch, it's all Ron Killings now. Like it said, we want the truth, and then on the back it says Ron Killings is the truth.
Yeah.
So they're doing a whole lot of. I think he's even. I think I still have the tab up. I think he's even listed as Ron Killings now on the site. So I think there'll be like a phasing period. But let's see.
In typical WWE fashion, I think.
Oh no, he's on there as R-Truth still.
Unfortunately, with WWE, I think we're on the cusp of, in typical fashion, a very awkward phase where there's gonna be a little bit of good, but there's gonna be a lot of what the fuck.
Maybe you have Rollins cash in, take it off Cena, but mess Cena up so bad that he has to take that time away. He's not there weekly anymore until maybe Cena's last appearance is Punk versus Rollins for the title, and Cena gets that revenge on Rollins and helps Punk and gets to go out on that high of I made things right. Maybe. Oh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the jury, you let us know what you think. And again, this coming Monday, I don't know what city they're in, but buckle up.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be a wild show.
It'll be a good week.
Yeah, it is.
Because is it next week if we go home or the week after?
Voodoo said he thinks Cody takes
Actually,
SummerSlam.
see, I think it's too predictable. Like I see it happening,
That's
but
what
at the
he
same
said.
time,
He
maybe it's
says
too predictable.
maybe they're throwing a
That's where they've
curveball
been.
in
They've
there.
been safe. I see safe.
Been safe. Yep. HD
That's
called
what I said in the safe.
it.
I want to be a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more risky, but I feel like they playing it safe. Very safe.
That don't put ass in the seats. I'm sorry. But also, I also on the flip side, you don't want to get too reckless like the Wednesday night brigade. But again, let it be like last year they mastered the formula. This year, it's almost like they've abandoned what they were doing last year, which I don't know why. And much like with AEW, they're very easy fixes. They just got to commit to them. That's
Yeah.
how I feel.
It's I don't know. And right now, I think we're in a spot where nothing is certain. Like it's like legitimately the last couple weeks have proved anything can happen, and like it's until it's on the air, it's all speculation, and it can go any direction.
That's the
Righteous
problem.
Voodoo.
Anything.
Voodoo says Gunther beating Jay was to make for Goldberg versus Gunther for the belt. He thinks that it's gonna be for the belt.
Oh, and that's
That'd be
another
pretty
thing. Like
crazy.
Voodoo
you're getting that
you sicko. I know how he thinks.
Triple H being smart. You're gonna get Goldberg, a name that people, even if you don't still watch it, you'll know from the '90s. Getting a world title match on free network TV the same night as AEW's one of their big pay-per-views.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That's just
cool.
genius.
I still got flashbacks of Goldberg becoming a multi-time Universal Champion on free TV. I'm not ready to go back down that road.
I don't think it will. I don't think he'll win it, but
Hey, you never know.
These things have happened.
people will tune in. It's true. People will tune in for it just because it's Goldberg. We'll see. I guess we'll see.
HC, how you feeling?
They've been talking about Goldberg for some months now. It just doesn't make sense. Like it does make sense, but again,
What if it's for the belt? I'm sorry. Go ahead, HD. I'm so sorry.
no, you good. They just been talking about this when Gunther had the belt before he dropped it to Jay. Then he drops it to Jay. So I thought we would have got to that match when he didn't have the championship. They throw the belt back on him. Now we entertaining that idea again. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, to be honest.
Maybe they're doing it to where Goldberg will win the belt, and right when he's tired, Seth Rollins cashes in.
It's the Fiend stuff all over again, HD.
Yeah.
Who knows? By the way, I watched
so many
AEW
ways
product
it can go.
very last. It's lost its taste a little. You don't watch it as much, yeah, for sure. All right, well, look. If you want to continue keeping up with all of us, gotta make sure you hitting them subscribe buttons. Make sure you following everybody here. It's the only way, because the conversation is gonna keep. What does Jay say? Look, run it back. We're gonna keep it going.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a part of that conversation, you feel me? There's only one way. You gotta join the Discord. You gotta sub. You gotta follow us on all our social medias, man. That way you can go ahead and keep this going, man, and see what you're gonna see behind the stage.
Stay informed.
It is.
Absolutely.
And before we get on now, let's do the one time for the one
And he
time.
said, "I'm already sub. Let's go."
Word.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, world, thank y'all for watching. I can't wait to talk to you on Monday, Tuesday, whenever we're going to do this. You'll never know when we're going to do it because we coming off where? The fucking hip, bitch. Holla at y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all have a good night. We'll see you all next time.
Streets with the greatest exit of all time.
Oh, yeah.
He just left. He bounced. He's gone.
Exit stage right.
Oh, not the Cookie Monster.
Oh, yeah.
You can
Now
at
we
least
out
know
of
the
here.
truth.
Oh, yeah. Now
At
we
least
out of
know
here, yeah.
the truth with the STF.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
man. Good times. Poor John.